did put together a little bit tougher one this week.
I do not, in fact, know where your mind is going.
Oh, you always do. I'm so predictable.
So we're also going to hear, are we good for 1225, Brian?
Yeah, I'm good.
Ryan's going to tell us that Ryan's had a development in his life, and we wanted to give him the opportunity to kind of tell his story, and we wanted to bring you into it. So we're going to hear from Ryan at 1225 about something pretty impactful that has happened to him, and he's going to share that with you. So you're going to want to stick around and hear about that at 1225. And then in the midst of all of this nonsense, we are trying out a green screen today on the live stream. And if you are watching the show on the YouTube channel, the Annie Frey YouTube channel, we have a practical purpose for this, but before we get to the practicality of it, we're going to try to perfect the actual function of a green screen. So I literally don't like. Brad, are you downloading?
I'm working on it.
He's downloading backgrounds for my screen right now.
I'm looking at what he's looking at, and it's pretty funny.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm kind of fooled by the green screen. When I look at the live stream right now, it does look like you're in a very well put living room.
Yeah,
I would like to buy that house.
I was going to say, Annie always wants to invite you into the show, but today she wants to invite you into her living room, her dream living room.
I would like to invite you into a living room.
Somebody's living room.
It's not mine.
Where you are.
Yeah. So I'm in the same place. I'm in the studio with everybody, but we've got the green screen up behind you. Yeah. That's really what the idea is. This is so that I can go on vacation, still broadcast from there, and you just never know.
Based on what I'm looking at over Brad's shoulder right now, in a minute, you might be in a graveyard.
Oh, gosh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Terrifying.
Vicky Long from YouTube says, I thought Annie was in a hotel.
Yeah, that's the type of hotel rooms I stay in.
Yeah.
That looks like an Airbnb.
Stone fireplaces, baby grand pianos, wraparound couches, beautiful wooden entry doors.
Different part of the country, apparently, too, based on the lighting coming from the window.
We just got a notification from Brad's wife that said I ironed that green screen on Wednesday evening, so you're welcome. Thank you, Mrs. Range. Very grateful for that. So, yeah, we're doing what we're doing here, and we invite you to come in and learn along with us. There is news that's breaking throughout the course of the day, as usual, and so we're going to be covering that as we move through this afternoon. I do want to talk real quick before we get into the rest of the Friday show about some of these documents.
Transparency in this case does not mean going public right away. And we know that because the things the White House and the Justice Department have been telling us are different. The White House sent President Biden out on Tuesday in Mexico City with a statement that talked about one box of documents. Sounded like that's all that there was at the think tank a mile and a half away from here, 101 Constitution Northwest. Now we know that his personal attorneys had flagged to the feds that there was another batch on December 20th. That is weeks ago. And so there's a little bit of confusion about why they didn't want to go public with that information right away. There's also some confusion about who may have had access to these files in either location, the garage or the adjacent room in Wilmington, or at the think tank.
So there are a ton of questions, and we've spoken this week to several people, experts, legal experts at least, about the Biden documents that were found in his garage. And I am trying so incredibly hard to learn about the Biden documents that were found in his garage. Where? Next to his Corvette. That'll be a trivia question someday. What kind of car was located next to the classified documents found in Joe Biden's garage?
X's and O's?
Corvette.
I hate to tell you, but that was one that I changed last minute because I thought it would be too easy, and I was right.
It's way too easy.
I was right.
If you're trying to learn about the Biden story, it's near impossible to listen to anybody report on it without talking about Trump. That's annoying.
That's the only reason it is a story. If they hadn't have done what they did to Trump, this would have been a blip on the radar at best.
If they hadn't done what they did to Trump, would they even have pursued finding these documents? I don't know that this, not even a blip of a story. I don't know that it would have become a story.
Exactly. I don't think this is the kind of thing that it seems apparent. And this is one of the cases that Trump and Trump's lawyers were making. Every president, every vice president, everybody who's in the Oval Office ever takes things with them after they're done. They looked at them many times. It's not as if they're going to be surprised by them after they're out of office. And this is another example of that. So these stories have been manufactured by the left.
The permission that in the past that the left has gotten away with giving explanations with like zero follow-up and zero pressure back from the media, and from honestly a lot of our elected governmental bodies, which will change now that the Republicans hold the House. I think that's what grates at me the most. And I am so I am repulsed by the idea that somehow or another. Is it the green screen falling down?
Yeah, it's falling
falling down on top of me.
Well, your living room roof just collapsed is what happened.
This is
You
why
were very calm for your
this is why you should be
the sky
watching.
falling in.
Because today we're literally at day one of figuring out how to make this work, and we really can't do this if we don't do it during the show. So here we go. But anyway, I am repulsed at the idea of looking at what Donald Trump did in the confines of anything outside of the natural, normal expectation that you would apply to anybody else who wasn't Trump in that situation. And knowing that the Donald Trump documents that he had, that there are still negotiations going on between like the Clinton presidential era, Obama era. Like this is a very common thing that the National Archive says, hey, that's our stuff. And then the former president goes, no, that's my stuff. And then they bicker about it and they argue and they have lawyers and blah, 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 blah. Well, I mean, Donald Trump, two things can be true. Donald Trump could have documents that he's not supposed to, just like the other presidents could have documents they're not supposed to. Or Donald Trump has documents that he is supposed to, and the National Archive still wants them, but they don't have access to them. So it's a disagreement. The disagreement when it's Donald Trump is never like the disagreement when it's everybody else. And then if you add into that the fact that you put a Biden situation in the midst of it, now we can't even think of Joe Biden having these documents in the House in the same context as what I would like to do, as Obama did, as Bush did, as Clinton did, because now we have to look at Biden, of course, in conjunction with Donald Trump. And you can't treat Donald Trump unfairly and spend time arguing that this is what should have happened with Donald Trump. This is ridiculous that they're pursuing it this way. We shouldn't be having raids on his house. You can't be arguing in favor of the context of history, saying this is how we should handle a situation like this. And now all of a sudden go to Joe Biden and argue for something differently just because it happened in a different way to your guy. Like there has to be, outside of all of the names involved, there has to be a way that these things are handled, and we need to handle things this way. That is separate from the fact that Donald Trump is treated differently than everybody all the time. Nancy Pelosi and all of her merry men and women are constantly saying no one is above the law. Well, Donald Trump should have the same law applied to him as everybody else does, and he doesn't. So in your same statement that no one is above the law, what you're saying is everybody should be treated by the law equally. And they themselves do not do that. They manufacture crimes and accuse Donald Trump of them, and everybody knows it. And now we have this Trump factor that things happen to him and he gets treated the way nobody else gets treated. And then you find out that they've been guilty of what they've accused Donald Trump of this entire time. Joe Biden's words with Scott Pelley, is that CBS News or whatever it was, where he's talking about how irresponsible it was. I mean, it's so on the nose. I like even hesitate to play that clip on the air because it's like, obviously, I don't need to play that to you. You're smart enough to know that, wow, that's pretty hypocritical. But if the pendulum is always swinging back and forth and we never stop to think, what is the right way to do this? I just don't think that's sustainable. And the proximity to Trump for everything all the time drives me crazy.
That's the only reason this is a story, is the pure hypocrisy of it. We talk about this stuff all the time. Oh, if this were like Hunter Biden, for instance, if this were Don Jr., do you think this would have been treated the same? But this is the best example we've seen in a long time of just an apples to apples comparison of when one guy does it versus the other guy does it. This is how they treat the one guy. This is how they treat the other. And it's the best example of what we've been saying about so many other stories for so long now.
we're going to watch as people cover this story, and I'm going to be paying attention to people who aren't trying to always do the comparison thing. If there is somebody out there who wants to just uncover the situation that's going on in the Biden garage, I'd like to know that. We haven't really talked about documents. It's always interesting how outside of the impending election that would be coming up, that we don't really care about these documents in Trump's office, in his skiff, in his house, his highly secure, protected by Secret Service mansion and office. There are questions outside of just what are in these documents. Here's Mark Levin.
Well, the money part of it is the name of the game with the Bidens, isn't it? Did you see those homes that Biden has on a senator's salary? It's incredible. He's got an oceanfront home in Delaware. He's got this big mansion in Wilmington. He's got tens of millions in the bank on a senator's salary. That's pretty good. But what I want to get into is what's taking place here. This is a major scandal. Why? Because the Department of Justice tried for 2 months to cover this up. That's what you see in the timeline. Nothing leaked from the FBI, nothing leaked from the prosecutors, nothing got to the media until Monday this week, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So they find the documents November 2. Who finds them? The private lawyers. That is bizarre. Everybody says so, and they're right. What's the magic date about November 2, and why are lawyers going and looking for documents?
These are good questions. And this is part of the whole thing. I mean, I'm going to be honest. First of all, I don't know what's in these documents that were found at Joe Biden's house. And if I don't know what's in them, probably won't ever know what's in them. It's hard for me to talk about how much he's, threatening the security of the country, because watching Democrat Monday morning quarterbacks or side seat commentators talk about how Donald Trump probably had the nuclear codes that he was going to sell to North Korea in order to end the United States. It's like, you've got it bad. We have a serious case of delusion here, and this person is suffering from it. I'm absolutely not going to be those people. I'd be interested to know. I think there was an assessment. I can't remember. I guess it was the FBI who assessed all of the documents that were pulled from the Donald Trump Mar-a-Lago situation. And I believe that the headline was something about Donald Trump's documents more about ego than profiting or security concerns. And it was just basically like what he was keeping back was more to be able to say, I'm keeping these, fight me, than it was like, I need these because I have to make money with our enemies in foreign countries, or I want to put the United States in a security position. It was made clear that that was not what Donald Trump was harboring at his place. I am assuming, until I hear otherwise, that that's the same situation that's happening with Joe Biden. That these documents are probably maybe sentimental to Joe Biden or have some sort of personal connection to him, and he packed them up. Maybe it's in question whether or not they should still be classified or not. Maybe it's in question whether or not he should still have them or not. And then that can get litigated back and forth, and we can discover what it is. So I don't really want to get into, until we know the facts, and then we can certainly debate based on the facts that we know, whether or not the people who are holding these documents back were doing it in a nefarious way or maybe in a little more egocentric way. One of those concerns me way more than the other. But what I am concerned about is the obvious need to blow the Trump story up into the biggest possible story it could be, and the matter with which they went into Mar-a-Lago under this administration. Nothing like that has ever been done before. That's how they treated Donald Trump. They knew about these documents with Joe Biden a week before the election, and nothing came out. You've got the new Congress sworn in. The Republicans have taken the House. They are moving and scooting on Capitol Hill to get things done. A very dramatic week where the eyes of anybody who gives a crap about politics was watching what was going on with the Republicans in the House last week to elect a speaker. They worked very hard to make that a Democratic win, but in my opinion, it absolutely was not. It was a win for the Republican Party, and the biggest possible reminder to everybody that there's somebody else in charge in the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. I think it was by far a net win for the Republican Party as far as PR and politics go. Immediately after that, we start talking about investigations. A lot of these investigations that are going to be done by the Republicans in the House have to do with Joe Biden. They have to do with his son, Hunter Biden, in conjunction with Joe Biden. Let's change the news cycle as fast as we possibly can. Mr. President, you're going to the southern border. Oh, and those documents that we talked about, let's focus on those. If they think that the documents battle and maybe minor PR debacle is one that they can at the end win out on, I'd take that over having a constant spotlight over what the Republicans are doing in the House every single day. And honestly, good politics on the Democrats' part, especially if you're not incredibly concerned about preserving the wholesome nature, if you will, gag, of President Joe Biden. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Ryan is going to talk to us about something that he has discovered here recently, was notified about recently, that's affecting him in a pretty big, impactful way. You're going to want to hear this story and learn about him. And we try to keep you as close as we can, appropriately so, to our personal lives. And this is an important story to share. And so we're going to talk about that when we come back with Ryan Wiggins. So do not go anywhere. We've got Green Screen Day here on the Annie Frey Show. We want you to tune into the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And yeah, I got a green screen behind me. I'm in the studio, just like I always am. But today we are working on adding some capabilities to the show. And we thought, why not screw around with it on a Friday? Because that's the fun time to do it, of course. The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll while you're on the YouTube channel. Who on the show would you most like to have a drink with? Hannah, Annie, Brad, or Ryan? Go vote. Leave us a comment as to why you voted the way you did, and Hannah will update us at 2:45. Ryan Wiggins' story when we come back.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
If you've been thinking about vision correction in the new year, there's no better time to get it than right now. Mark Cox, for my friends at Brenton Vision, they have everything you need to help achieve that crisp, clear vision you deserve. Call them at 314-375-2020 or go online at brentonvision.com. Brenton is the home to the only team in Missouri to perform all 7 FDA-approved forms of modern vision correction. That's modern LASIK, permanent contact lenses, and if you have bad reading vision, they even have treatments for that too. Do what our friend Jessica from O'Fallon, Missouri did. Go to Brenton Vision for a consultation. See what you're a candidate for. Jessica told us to be able to see clearly without the use of glasses is such an incredible feeling. So if bad vision is standing in your way, call Brenton Vision, 314-375-2020, or schedule right now at brentonvision.com. That's brentonvision.com.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. TrueHold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And TrueHold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since TrueHold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
If you're a fan of 97.1, get a t-shirt. Visit 971talk.com/merch to see all the new t-shirt designs and show your support for St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
Every time you come around,
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
every time the sun goes down, I let you take on.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight had something wonderful. My bad habits lead to late nights, sitting alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being with us here today. Happy Friday. It's always great to say that, and I'm always happy to be able to say it to you. Thank you for being with us on St. Louis's home for conservative talk, 97.1 FM Talk. We were talking a little bit in the earlier segment about Ryan had discovered about a week ago today something, and he was telling us about it off air, and I said to him, like, this may be something that you should just put out there for us on the show so that people can understand what you're going through and you can do it in your own context. So Ryan said that he would like to do that. So Ryan, take it away.
Well, so we're pretty open books. I don't want to like over dramatize this, but it's just what's going on, and it will affect things the way I do life and the show and everything. But a week ago, let me back up. So when you're born with cystic fibrosis,
which you have,
which I have, they tell you, actually, I was born in 1981. So at that time, the lifespan that they gave you when you were born with CF was about 20 years in 1981. So I was told as I was growing up, at about this age, things will start to get harder for you. And they did, but when I'd hit that age, I'd hit 20 and they'd say, well, lifespan's 25 now because the medicine's getting better.
So a couple questions,
Go ahead.
Because I think a lot of people don't know what you're talking about. They've heard of CF or they've heard of cystic fibrosis. What is it?
So it's a genetic condition. You're born with it, and there's not really anything you can do other than treat it. You can't change your genetic composition. So you have to treat it. It affects primarily your lungs, other things too. But the number one thing that people know about CF is that it makes it harder to breathe because your mucus in your lungs primarily is just thick, and therefore you harbor viruses and diseases more. You get sick more. It's harder to gain weight. And that's kind of part of the story.
So when you were born in 1981 and the diagnosis comes through and they say it's a 20-year lifespan, how long in your life did you live thinking that you had about a 20-year lifespan?
Well, when I was in my teens in high school, there was one other person in my high school that had cystic fibrosis, and she died. So I lived a very different lifestyle than her. She was in the hospital a lot and I wasn't. I knew who she was. She maybe knew who I was, but that's it. We didn't talk. We weren't friends. I just knew about her because we shared this condition. That's really the only encounters with people. And they have CF like groups, community groups, and, support groups and stuff, because you just have to live a little bit differently. And I just never participated in them. I don't know why. I just didn't want, in my head, I think looking back, I didn't want that to define me. So I chose not really to engage with a lot of other people with CF, not on purpose, but I just didn't go that direction. A lot of people need that. A lot of people love it, and I didn't. But by the time I was a teenager, the medicines had gotten better quickly, like a lot of different things. Medicine's just improving. So by the time I was a teenager, I think the age range had probably grown into the mid-20s. And by the time I was in my 20s, it had gotten to the late 20s. Well, now it just keeps kind of extending as I hit those benchmarks. Now I'm 41. I think the life range is probably into the mid 40s, upper 40s. So my hope is that by the time I get there, it'll be in the upper 50s. That's been the direction of things.
Is what causes a shorter lifespan your exposure and lessened ability to kick things that get into your respiratory system?
Yep. You just your lungs get so overworked and tired, and your immune system just gets.
So it's more about how your body reacts to the things. It's like immunodeficiency.
Yes.
It's not the CF per se that causes a shorter lifespan. It diminishes your immune system. And then the things that my body, as somebody who doesn't have cystic fibrosis, fights off, you just have a weakened ability to do that.
Yeah. And you just end up, honestly, your quality of life is supposed to decrease, I would say slowly, but it could happen very quickly because you just can't keep up. You're just fighting things off. I do find a lot of times that I'm more tired than I think the average person is. I sleep probably a little bit more than the average person does. And maybe that is because I'm fighting stuff off more than the average person does. I know that that's probably true. It's just, it's so different for everybody with CF too. Like I said, I was in high school with somebody who died from complications from CF. I'm still here and I'm 41. So it manifests differently for different people. For me, it got really, really bad when I was in my mid 20s. And I started going into the hospital much more regularly. I was actually just married. We were newlyweds. And I was like, well, shoot, this stinks. I'm just starting my life here and establishing roots. And now it's getting bad and I'm having to go to the hospital more. And I can see where this is going. Well, all of a sudden, thank God I got this amazing drug that came out, new medicine that very much altered my life and gave me kind of a new lease on life at that time. And I've only been in the hospital once or twice in the last decade and a half.
Do I remember you telling the story previously where you were part of a trial?
I was.
Like a study?
They only pick certain, here's what's amazing. They only pick certain cities to do this study for this drug in. Then they only allowed certain people into the study. Then it was double blind, where you might have gotten the placebo, might have gotten the medicine. From day one, I told my doctors, I got the medicine. And they're like, you can't tell us that. This is a study. Yeah. We have to read your numbers. You can't tell us the way you feel. We have to just look at your lung function numbers. So anyway, I did. It was amazing. And I got on it as early as you could possibly get on that thing. And that particular form of that drug only affected 5% of the entire CF population in the country. And I happen to have the right genome for it. So really amazing. And clearly blessed.
A blessing.
I mean, I can't say blessing enough. It's almost like how ridiculous the numbers had to be for me to get in at that moment to have that. But here I am because of that. Well, I'm getting older. There are things that they now are having to deal with that they never had to deal with in CF because the population is aging beyond what it never has.
What does it look like for a 55 or a 60-year-old CF population?
And they've never, you've had a random person here or there live to be in their 60s or 70s even.
Hardly enough to study.
But nothing like it is now, where you have the bulk of the population living so much longer. So all of these things that I've been told my whole life, it really doesn't matter. One of them is because your pancreas doesn't work quite right with CF. That's part of that same gene. Is if you want to eat anything you want, basically. Now, my dietitian would back off of this and say, I never really told you that.
You're not giving anybody who has cystic fibrosis medical advice right now.
No, I'm not.
I'm not. The record, the disclaimer here on the Andy Frey Show.
But what was basically told to me was, CF, it's one of the reasons I have to take enzymes when I eat is because your body doesn't produce the same enzymes to break down food. So it's harder for you to gain weight. Well, also, if you're sick, it's hard to gain weight. So you have everything working against you to be able to gain weight if you have cystic fibrosis. So I've developed, and I would say maybe because they've never discouraged this, some pretty bad eating habits.
I think you're being generous. Because they never discouraged it part.
They've never discouraged it. I do remember, quote unquote, eat all the French fries you want. It is not going to affect you. I remember that my whole life. That was a
Yeah, you
dietitian
ran
told me
with
that.
one.
I did. But also like sugar and stuff. It's actually one of the few foods and vegetables. Okay, fine, vegetables that you don't have
Sugar
to take.
is one of the vegetables.
Sugar is one of the vegetables that you can eat without taking enzymes.
We're gonna not name this dietitian on the air.
But so all of these things anyway contribute to the fact that they have said, now if you get to this point, because they don't know when it is going to happen, every person's a little different, but because of your pancreatic function, at some point they say, look, your pancreas is already weak. At some point you're not going to produce insulin anymore, or you're going to produce less. Well, all of a sudden I hit 40 apparently, or 41, and boom, I get a call Friday. Yeah, you're diabetic.
Last Friday at 11 o'clock, you said?
Right before the show.
You held it up great.
I was so down. I didn't know what to think. I'm like, gosh, I mean, this
You're
is
kind of bearing the lead here. They told you were diabetic.
Boom. That
was the news
that
you
was
received.
it. And I knew that this was a possibility, and I knew that my numbers were trending slowly in that direction, but it has been like all of a sudden. And so like if you're diabetic and you're listening to this, you're like, oh, Ryan, you're making a big deal about this. I get it. It's just that, as you know, if you listen to this show, I eat basically 80% of my diet is gummy bears and 20% is steak. And like, that's it. And so this has been a huge blow that, and people are asking type 2, right? That's what's weird, is that with CF, you don't know. It could be a combination of type 2 and type 1. It could be just type 1. It could be mostly type 2. I don't know. And so if it's if it's type 1, where you just are stopping producing insulin, then I really lived right. I really lived it up while I had insulin. And so
that
kudos.
is the glass half full mentality that we
right.
expect from Ryan Wiggins.
Now, if it's type 2, then I probably did cause some of this by just over-sugaring myself and not exercising enough. It's probably going to end up, I got to do logs, and I got to take blood sugar and stuff now for a month before I start to find out really which one it is.
Vicky says it sucks, but it is manageable. I feel sorry for Haribo.
Me too. Look, and I'm telling you this
sell my stock.
as a stock professional, as a stock trader, I'm telling you this to get ahead of the gummy downfall that's going to happen.
Is this insider training?
Yes, it is. It is. And I know that is very questionable for the FCC. But
Big candy.
Yeah, big
candy.
Exactly.
Big gummy.
Watch out, especially if you're a Black Forest based in St. Louis. I'm getting into the deep part of gummy science right now and the gummy business.
Which you can literally only get here on the Any Frey
That's
Show.
right.
I promise you nobody else is covering this.
Ryan is big gummy.
I was up until Friday. Anyway, that's all. That's the news. It's just it's part of like my character on the show.
Well, that's what I had when Ryan told us this earlier this week. I said to him, I said, you need to be prepared for this being who you are on the show is like a candy monster. For if we talk about this and mention diabetic, I mean, we have people who are mean to us every day. I specifically get a lot of it. The other three people in this room don't really read all the messages the show gets, and I don't really share the hateful stuff. If I feel as though the criticism, if you will, has some sort of merit to it, I'll pay attention to that. People criticize me respectfully regularly as well, but there's also some very hateful things that get sent our way from time to time. And the reason why I wanted to give an entire segment to Ryan to explain his story is because, I mean, me being probably the person, well, for sure, that gives Ryan the most crap on a regular basis, there's really no room for that type of attack on him. And listen, everybody who listens to the show and knows that Ryan's been a candy monster, unfortunately, isn't listening to the radio right now.
Yeah.
But a lot of you are. And we know that you invite us into your car and into your headphones and onto your, office computer and into your home on the YouTube channel when you put us up on your TV in your home and you work through the day or clean your house through the day, whatever it is. We know that we are a part of your daily life. And I get these notes from listeners somewhat regularly as well. If we talk about something personal on the show, it reminds you that we're just normal people like you are, dealing with normal things like you do. And I just think it's important for you to understand where we are. And if Ryan wanted to discuss this on air to kind of set this tone for wherever this because you don't really know, like you're still trying to stick the landing on this to figure out what happens next.
I've got a very, very strong hope burning deep in my heart that I can still eat some candy, but I don't know yet. I'm going to find that out over the next
We
year.
are rooting for you.
So your prayer for Ryan Wiggins is, Lord, some candy.
Lord, Ryan loves Reese's and, Haribo.
I'm going to say
Ryan-
that it's probably okay if you eat less. But
Well, fine.
I still hope you get enough to scratch the itch.
I want to have a quesadilla with an icy, which I
Who says that?
Oh man,
Nobody else wants that.
Ryan Wiggins says that.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you, Ryan, and I'm asking you this as a pastor.
I can see as your face
As
is
a pastor.
wincing like this is going to be a real question.
And you're like, God, just please let me have some candy. Is it possible that maybe you've made candy an idol in your life, and God is removing that from you so that you can have a deeper relationship with Him?
Nope.
Right. Thanks,
Ryan.
Pastor Brad.
Yeah, I want to answer that clearly.
I almost just said Pastor Bad, so I don't know if that was.
no.
That could be a character.
Yeah.
Ryan, I must share that I'm reading the live stream comments and you are getting tons of support, tons of prayers. People are giving
it's
advice.
nice. I mean, if people want to come at me about it and be like, you're getting your comeuppance, like, I get it.
We
I
just
get
want
it.
that to happen in the context of understanding what the reality is.
And that is the reality.
Yes.
So there you go. I mean, I get it. I've created this myself. Although this side of it, I really don't know whether it is my fault or not. I'll find that out soon. It's probably a combination.
Lots of people are sharing their diabetes stories as well. So
yeah, type 1, type 2. Also, when you talk, you've said this multiple times, so I know that this is something that is on your mind about whether or not this is your fault. I don't know anybody who's 40 who isn't suffering
from something
health concerns that are their own fault. So to suggest that you had some sort of like character flaw that caused you to get here. I mean, you're 49, I think. Did you say? Almost 50?
No, I did not.
5,
I did not.
6.
You're gonna have to
I
roll
was
the tape.
going to say that.
No, none of that. What I said was that I'm 41 and we're just doing our radio show, but publicly my agent, according to him, I'm 37. So
you are your own agent. And you are full of bologna sausage. But anyway, the idea that somehow or another you would be unlike anyone else who at that age isn't suffering from some of the habits that they've built over the course of their life, being in your 40s and, listening to the story about cystic fibrosis and how it has been a part of your life, your entire life. And, I don't think anybody else in this room is living their life thinking that their lifespan is, you're going a decade at a time. So that's a different mentality. That's a different approach to how you function in life. And you've been blessed so far and you've done wonderfully so far. And I have no doubt that you'll push through this, and you still don't know the full picture. So it's important.
No,
it's important for people to understand too, that you're still learning about this and you're putting it out there so that people can know a little bit more about you. And I commend you for doing that, because I think that there are other people listening right now who have been exactly where your mind is right now.
It's a weird thing. I heard somebody say this before, and I don't want to go too long here, but I've heard somebody say that whenever you have something that you love, and this could be something much more important than what I'm talking about, sugar or whatever, but whenever you lose something, it's almost like you have to go through a grieving process.
You do.
Sure.
And it sounds stupid with something so small, but I mean, I joke that I eat a lot of candy. I really do in real life eat a lot of candy.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's actually amazing.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it.
It's pretty incredible. So hearing that Friday right before, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, we're talking about major lifestyle change here. So I've had a week to at least process it a little bit and really grieve, because it's been tough. My wife knows I haven't been in a great mood coming home every day and trying to figure out how to do life now. But here we are. So that's where I am.
All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do Wiggins America. He gets 2 back-to-back segments. That's how much we care about him here. So join us on the live stream. This is where you can send a message to Ryan if you want to, if you've experienced something like this. maybe if you have CF, what your story is. I'm sure that he would like to see all of those messages. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and maybe we'll react to some of them later on in the show. So stick around. The YouTube live chat poll today: who on the show would you most like to have a drink with? Hannah, Annie, Brad, or Ryan? We'll be back in just a minute.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
How might this week's big stories impact your portfolio? Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale with Stifel. Join me and fellow Stifel financial advisor Eric Robert during On the Money every Saturday from 11 till noon right here on 97.1 FM Talk. Stifel, member NYSE and SIPC.
So Foley Dental Group is where you can go to schedule your next appointment for a dentist visit. If you haven't been for a long time, don't feel embarrassed about that. Don't be ashamed about that. Just go get your teeth taken care of. Get them looked at. You've got that ache in the back of your mouth and you try not to chew food on that side, but you've been putting it off because you don't want to go to the dentist. That ache is not going to fix itself. Foley Dental Group can fix it for you. They are amazing at welcoming new patients, making you feel incredibly welcome and comfortable. People of all ages. My kids go to Foley Dental Group, and they can specialize in working with young kids that are very, very comfortable in that setting with like TVs and all sorts of things to make you feel at home and not intimidated whatsoever. Foley Dental Group's phone number to make your appointment is 618-288-9670, 618-288-9670. Call and tell them you heard about them on the Annie Frey Show and schedule your appointment today. If it's a bigger problem, like you need implants or dentures, or if you're looking to fix some sort of sleep disordered breathing, adults and kiddos alike, they can help you in that regard as well. 618-288-9670, FoleyDentalGroup.com.
Well, the new year is here, and it's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the year. Carpets, tiles, rugs, upholstery, basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. So it's time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. Don't forget your air ducts either to help alleviate allergies or asthma. It's very important to enjoy less dust, lower energy bills, and your home is going to stay cleaner longer. If you book with Zero Res and you book and clean in January only, you get 23% off all services for 2023. If your home had a New Year's resolution, it would be to get clean. Let's face it, Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google with over 4,300 reviews, and the Zero Res 30-day gotta love it guarantee makes it easy to get what you pay for. I love them. They've been in my home many, many times. I trust professionals at Zero Res. It's a smarter, lasting clean. And ask for the Mark Reardon special for the 2023 January sale, 23% off all services. Don't put it off. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResSTL.com or call 314-474-2020 online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife, Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. Hypnosis is designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right, seminars, Wednesday, February 1st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, St. Louis Airport in St. Louis, and Thursday, February 2nd at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis, Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminar.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
This is where real local and national accountability happens. This is 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis's home for conservative talk. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Any man of mine better be proud of me. Even when I'm ugly, he still better love me. And I can be late for a date, that's fine, but you better be on time. And every man of mine will say it fits just right when last year's.
Can you make this song in 2023?
What's wrong with it?
This is a great
No, you
song.
absolutely can make this song in 2020.
I know you
could never recreate this song though. It is too good.
Yeah.
Are we talking like cancel culture can't do this, or
It's just a bunch of demands on what a man needs to do for a woman.
Oh yeah,
We can't.
Oh, you can absolutely make demands on men right now.
I don't know.
If the genders were flipped, though.
This was kind of progressive at the time. I mean, I don't know. We could discuss it later. It's Wiggins America time. As if this whole show isn't Wiggins America time.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
You get a lot of comments about our conversation in the
Yeah.
1225 segment where Ryan told us a pretty huge development in his life. You can go to 1225 on the Odyssey app, rewind it, or check out the Andy Frey Show podcast if you missed it.
What I'm going to do here is talk extra slow so that I can also have the 1 o'clock hour.
Okay.
These are dating deal breakers.
Dating deal breakers?
Yeah, a number of different polls on this stuff. I found one, and then I looked up a bunch of others because I wanted to find the best ones.
So like do's and
So
don'ts.
these are things that they'd ask a group of singles, and it was quite a few. The poll was pretty big, and they'd ask them, "Is if you did this, or if your significant other or the person you were trying to date did this, would that be a deal breaker for you?" So I'm going to ask you guys this question, or these questions, each one of these. You can tell me whether it would be for you,
A dating deal breaker.
a dating deal breaker.
This is fun.
So
What-
is this like, you said, is this like I'm not married to my husband, or is this like dating with my husband?
I don't know. It's you can kind of approach it however you want.
I think
I think
you
you
all
have
should
to put
put-
yourself in the mindset of being single, though.
Okay.
Or like if your partner were to do this, like when you started dating, would you?
I think that
pursue it or not?
that's a fair way to approach it.
I don't, my husband and I haven't seen each other in like 6 years, so. That's not true.
I got sad.
Molly's 18 months old, so.
I got sad for you for a second, and then realized that I also am you.
Yeah. You haven't seen my husband in 6 years either.
No, I haven't.
It's
Not in
tragic.
a significant way.
Tragic.
Yeah, I mean, we say hello, but we haven't like been out.
Jared won't
Move
face
on.
him though.
No. Ugh. All right. Here we go.
I like the hypotheticals better than whatever we're doing right now.
I don't like what we're doing right now.
I don't
neither
either.
do I.
Let's do
move
this other
forward.
thing that I have prepared. Number one, holding hands on the first date. Was that you? Do you like that? Do you
Sure.
not like that?
Sure.
That's fine.
First date, first time.
Do you know what people do on first dates now?
No, can you explain?
Those aren't really dates.
yeah, right.
I'm
right.
for holding hands.
Yeah.
On the first date.
I don't have a problem
That's
with
super
it. It's not
innocent.
a deal breaker for me,
If you're on a date, yeah.
unless you don't let me have the overgrip.
Oh my god.
Oh, here we
Ooh,
go.
I like that.
Alpha male.
It just hurts my
According to the poll, 57% said yes, that is a deal breaker. They do not want to
You're
hold hands on
kidding.
the first
That's
date.
okay. That's okay because then you know that like you know something about them. And if it's a first date, that's all you're doing is like recon.
Investigating.
Yes. Number two, a messy house. Now, this doesn't have to be first date,
Ooh.
but if you find out that this person you're dating has a messy house, is that a deal breaker for you?
There's levels
I'm
of
not
messy.
one for clutter.
There's levels of messy. There's you walk in and there might be a small pile of shoes by the door because it's snowy outside and they take their shoes off, but they don't put the shoes away, or like week old pizza boxes, deal breaker.
If there's roaches, no. If there's a laundry chair,
So you
yes.
draw the
what do you
line
have
at
against people with infestation?
yeah.
A lot.
She's an infestation hater. I knew it all along.
Yeah, there's a term for that.
So it is a deal breaker for me because there can't be two of us.
Oh,
I need a compliment, not me. So I need somebody that
yeah,
is
messy
neither.
versus filthy. Good job, Vicky.
Yeah.
Good distinction.
That's a good distinction.
I am very cluttered.
Well, I think
Untidy
the,
is okay.
yeah, I think the implication here is
Filthy.
pretty
Filthy?
messy.
Yeah, totally deal breaker.
65% agreed. Yes, that is a deal breaker for them. How about dating more than one person at once? Obviously, this would be very early in the relationship, but even early in a relationship,
Absolutely.
if you found out they were dating somebody else also, would you immediately end it?
Of course.
Dating means something different. Like if I found out they went on a date with somebody else and then they went out on a date with me, if we're not a couple, I like, okay,
Isn't
whatever.
dating?
But like whenever you say dating, that to me says a
Boyfriend,
couple.
girlfriend, or whatever, one-on-one.
Annie.
What? I'm just watching.
I know. There's some passion in this room right now.
I would not want to date someone who is actively dating other people.
Me
But that's
either.
me. I there are people who would do that, but if you are showing interest in me, I want your full attention until you determine that you would like to get interest from somebody else, and then bye.
Interesting. I as the guy, I was thinking back to when I was
Thanks
dating.
for the clarification.
When I was doing this.
As the guy. Yeah, when I was doing this, I was okay if we were just kind of checking out to see if we were compatible. I was okay with that.
Hold on. And
Kicking the tires.
Yeah, exactly.
Gonna give, oh gosh. Scooter, shout out here says, if you aren't exclusive, you can date at will. Did any of us date past early 20s, mid 20s? You dated till
me.
you got married at 28, right?
Yeah. No. I was 26.
26. You got married at
26.
And I was 23. That is youthful.
Yeah.
So I don't think, like, if we're comparing this to being on a date at like 40, totally different. Let's do more when we come back.
Okay.
Fair? All
Yep.
right. We'll be right back.
Help us map the broadband gap. Missouri's Office of Broadband wants to connect all Missourians to reliable, high-speed internet. But we need to know who doesn't have access. Go to ded.mo.gov/getconnected to check the FCC map and see if you are listed correctly. Don't wait. Go to ded.mo.gov/getconnected today. Brought to you by the Missouri Department of Economic Development.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The president's invited. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy extending the formal invitation for the State of the Union address to Congress on February 7th, even as the new Republican House majority and the White House exchange public warnings on some key issues, including the debt limit.
Look, as you've heard us say before, we will not be doing any negotiation over the debt ceiling.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says it shouldn't be a political football. Some House Republicans haven't ruled out trying to use the debt ceiling as leverage on other issues. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen notifying Congress today that the U.S. will likely hit its debt limit of $31.4 trillion next Thursday, forcing the Treasury to launch extraordinary measures to prevent default until early June. Jean-Pierre today also facing another round of questions about the president's handling of classified documents now under special counsel investigation and insisting they've been transparent as part of an ongoing process. The president has been meeting with Japan's leader.
President Joe Biden welcoming Prime Minister Fumio Kishida to the Oval Office, saying the United States is fully committed to the alliance with Japan.
These shared democratic values are the source of our strength, source of our alliance, and the source of our being able to deliver for all of you.
The president said the nations are modernizing their military alliance, building on Japan's increased defense spending, the war in Ukraine, tech, and economic issues. The two did not speak publicly about Navy Lieutenant Ridge Alconis, who is currently serving a 3-year prison sentence in Japan. His family and supporters rallied outside the White House, calling for his release.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz at the White House, which has just told reporters the U.S. is not considering joining an Asian trade bloc, focusing instead on the Indo-Pacific economic framework. America is listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Partly sunny skies on tap going through our Friday afternoon, but it's windy and it's cold. 35, that winter feel back for a change. Tonight, clear skies, diminishing winds, going down to 22. Saturday, sunny and 45. Sunday, a mix of clouds and sunshine up to 53. Monday, holiday for a lot of folks. Periods of rain, though, and 58, so it's all rain. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Shows that make a difference. Mark Cox, Brian Kilmeade, Annie Fry, Mark Reardon and Dana Lash, Heidi Harris, Wiggins America. Where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late-day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. No matter how many times you tried to quit, this hypnosis is designed to destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars Wednesday, February 1st at the Holiday Inn Express Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis, and Thursday, February 2nd at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Annie Fry here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friend Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you strategies on how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Annie Fry Show.
Conservatives Care is a new 97.1 monthly action plan to change your neighborhoods and our nation. One project at a time. In January, we're inviting you to join us in the Missouri USO in serving our troops by visiting missouri.uso.org.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on a Saturday, and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Friday. We're glad you're here. We are having some fun on the YouTube channel today. We do have practical implications for it in the future, but we had to figure out how to make it work. And that is the green screen that's behind me right now. So you can join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel and watch as Brad is tinkering throughout the day on what we have. And eventually you'll see a more practical use for it in the future. But why not have some fun on a Friday with a green screen behind me that I have very little control over while we get it figured out? I think effectively the general idea and the way we're putting it together is working okay. It's fallen a couple of times in the middle of a segment.
I've got to figure out better ways of securing it so that it stays up, a way of doing it quickly so that I can come in pre-show and do it in like 2 minutes and get it up.
Sure.
And then
we don't expect Mark
right.
Mark Cox sits in the same seat that I do. We don't want to disrupt anything he does.
Right.
But maybe he will want to use it in the future.
Who knows?
So, yeah. We were talking in Wiggins America before we went to a break about some dating do's and don'ts and deal breakers. So we're going to talk about that here in just a second on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll, where you can vote there on the live chat. Who on the show would you most like to have a drink with? Hannah, Annie, Brad, or Ryan? Those are listed in age of order, youngest to oldest, as if that matters. But go there, vote, and leave us a comment as to why. Let's wrap up the dating deal breakers for the room here and see what else Ryan still has.
You got just a handful left here. Where we left off. So is this a deal breaker for you versus do you think society at large says this is a deal breaker? Because I have the percentages here. The man pays for the meal. Deal breaker for you. Let's start with you, Brad.
I pay
every time?
Every time.
I did too.
And then we got married. And then we have the same bank account. So now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I pay, but.
Do you still get the bill though?
Yes.
Does she ever take the bill?
It's interesting. No. Only if I'm talking and not really paying attention. He's like, "Oh, hurry up, we're ready to go." But it's interesting because
a little look into their marriage. Okay, thanks.
Here's another look into it. Terry's older than I am, and sometimes the server will come up and they're not really sure who to give the bill to. So it's funny to watch them awkwardly set it down, kind of in a neutral position.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you've talked about that before. You guys have an age difference, which is totally fine. What about you, Ryan? Do you pay when you like as a date?
So thinking back, I think I always did, but for some reason, right after I said that, I went, you know what? Katie Wiggins might make exception to that.
She paid or she made you split the ticket?
I think at best we would have split it, but I'm pretty sure that I was buying most of the time. I mean, after you date for a while, it becomes different. I think we're talking more about the first couple dates. Yeah. And I think that's what this question is asking too. But are you, when you go out, when you went out, or Hannah, when you go out with a guy or whatever, do they have to buy it for you to respect them? Or are you suggesting that you split it?
That's not a deal breaker for me.
It's not.
I would like someone to pay, but it's not a deal breaker.
Does it shade your opinion of the guy though?
Yeah.
It does. Okay. So it's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely a mark against them.
Stuff goes across my mind.
It's fair.
Just say that.
It's fair.
It's more of a plus if they do than
yeah.
it is a negative if they don't, I would assume today. But I mean, I was dating in the I don't know if it was really dating. I guess I started dating in the late 90s, super late 90s. And most of it was the early 2000s. And if I were to be dating somebody and it was early on and they're like, yeah, 2 checks, please, I would be like, okay, good to know. But I mean, we also weren't going to like fancy places. You know, you'd be going to like Applebee's or something. So if somebody asked you to go out and didn't pay for your meal, that would be a major deal breaker for me. I just messaged my husband to ask who was paying for food when we'd been dating for a year or two, because I think we dated for 3.5 years before we got married. I wouldn't expect. I think in my relationship, I think it would have just depended on who had money at the time. Because when we were in our super early 20s or late teens, like super broke, I was broke. He had a really good job. And I had a lot of jobs that didn't pay very much at all. And I don't really understand how I made it ends meet, but I would definitely want the man to pay the bill until you were like verbally, obviously exclusive. And then I think it probably just depends on circumstances of the man and the woman. I don't think that the man has to pay for it every time, all the time.
A lot of people in the comments are saying, man, I don't miss dating.
For sure.
It's a lot of rules. And you never know whether you're okay. That's why some of these are important.
Yeah.
Did you ever buy for like birthdays or anything like that whenever you would go? Because my wife would do that. It's like, oh, we're going out for my birthday. I'm gonna take you out for your birthday. And so she takes me out for my birthday and she would pay.
It was always just drinks.
Really?
It wasn't really like birthday dinners, but yeah, buy drinks and stuff.
You were going to fancy places like Applebee's though.
Uh-huh.
We were going to
fancy like
diner.
Applebee's on a late night. I don't know the rest of the words, but I do like that.
Is that a song?
Steak Oreo.
It's a country song, isn't it?
It's also an Applebee's commercial.
No. Okay. You want to know the percentage? It was almost exactly evenly split. 51% said no, that is not a deal breaker for them. But 49% said it was. Pretty even. How about this one? Talking to previous boyfriends or girlfriends? Deal breaker or not?
Absolutely deal breaker.
I think you need to be like specific about what you mean by talking to.
That's the question. It's just very open-ended. Talking
If
to.
you are dating someone and they're talking to their ex, that's not good.
It would imply, though, that there's a possibility that you would still be just friends with an ex, which could be a positive.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No?
No, I don't like that.
Annie's just smiling through these. There's a lot going on behind those eyes.
There's some blurry lines about being friends with your ex.
I agree, which is why this is a blurry question to ask.
I
And
would say
everybody's
deal
answer is
breaker.
probably a little bit different. Hmm? Okay, fine. Well, I'll just tell you the percentage and you can just say whatever you want then. 53% said yes, it is a deal breaker.
It 100% depends on what that looks like. I would not be opposed at all if I'm trying to think of. I still would welcome a conversation from people like that I dated in the past. I've been married for 15 years. Does that make a difference? Probably, but I don't know. Why did you break up? Who broke up with whom? If the guy I'm dating broke up with an ex-girlfriend because they decided to go their separate ways and he was ready to move on or something, and he broke up with her, and a year later I meet him and I realize that they can still see each other at a mutual gathering or something and be cool, that's valuable. If he's calling her to tell her about things that are going on in his life, I'm a little weirded out by that. I'm like, maybe you should tie those loose ends up a little bit.
And it does matter that you've been married for 15 years because
Because I don't.
at this point,
I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like I said, I've been married for 15 years. My husband and I are like, this weekend still, we are trying to find somewhere to go. Like and we can't make it work. We can't do it. So we're going to just do what we do every other weekend, which is
try to take over the world.
no, try to cling to the world. I mean, like, we're doing it together. We're locked arm in arm. We're very busy. We're super stressed about the things that are going on in our life. We are partners in crime, and high five to him. But every conversation we have is like navigation. How do we do this? Who's going to get that one? How do we make sure we have the same 4 kids at night that we started with in the morning? Like, what do we need to maneuver in our lives to ensure that we don't break what we've put together in the house? And then that's the thing about the messy house. Like, if you came into my house right now, you'd be like, okay, living some living done here. My Christmas decorations in my house, all completely up. I have a birthday party for my son tonight, his 13th birthday party. If you know, his birthday's the day after Christmas. So we just punt it all the way into the middle of January so that people aren't trying to wedge one more thing in that week, and everybody can come and everyone's like happy to be there, as opposed to in the middle of Christmas and New Year's where it's like, yeah, and then we got to go to Annie's house for another thing. So we put it in the middle of January. Everybody will be happy to be there, and he gets to extend. It's like a birthday month for him. That's totally okay with us. But I have a billion things that I need to do before 6:00 tonight. So
you got to clean up.
It's incredibly difficult to think about. But the one important thing that I will absolutely say is that when I was dating my husband, this is exactly what I wanted.
That's good.
I wanted him.
You're living the dream.
I wanted a family. I wanted my own thing. I wanted to be able to have a job and have him have a job that we loved doing. And I wanted this. And I have to remind myself that every once in a while when I see people who have more freedom at my age than I do, that this is what I wanted. And I am happy. I just have to take a second and go, this is good. And it is good. So the dating thing though. Whew.
Yeah. So 53% said talking to previous boyfriend, girlfriends is a deal breaker. And also 65% said walking into a messy house is a deal breaker. So any listener who walked into Annie's house right now would not want to date Annie or Jared.
Nobody wants to date me.
I want to point
Except
out
for Jared, but
one
we can't figure it out.
comment here from Al. He says, it's harder if the ex is a relative. Yep. I'd have to agree that would make things hard. It's harder.
Is that a deal breaker?
If the ex is a relative.
What percentage of people say that is a deal breaker? Apparently it's not 100.
I guess not. Thank you for the comment.
All right.
finding out someone cheated in a past relationship.
Deal breaker.
Yeah.
You're a
I would
snake.
assume, but it's actually evenly split because apparently so many people have cheated that they're like, well, I don't want to break up with me. So they're like, no, I wouldn't break up with them.
There's just a difference. If you want to move on in a relationship, there's a difference between like you can have that, but you just have to be honest with the people in your life first and handle that business before you go elsewhere.
Having bad manners.
No.
Deal breaker.
For freaking sure. I know that.
No.
What?
Percentage of Americans who say it's a deal breaker, 43%.
Who took this poll?
People with bad manners.
I guess it depends on how you define manners. You know, if
You
you're
also
eating with
don't-
your elbows on the table, big deal.
You don't want to be dating miss
Apparently it's
manners
a bigger
either.
deal.
But like I'm not dating someone who chews with their mouth open. I'm not dating somebody who treats the waiter or the waitress poorly. I'm not dating somebody who like is allergic to the word please or thank you. Like those types of manners. I've never ever considered somebody's elbows on the table like a deal breaker.
Like using the wrong fork for their salad.
But I'm gonna put it in my back pocket for a needed time when I'm like, yeah, sorry, dude.
You
Can't-
used the shrimp fork. Please leave me here, sir.
We got a comment from YouTube. It says if someone dated their relative, is that a deal breaker?
Yeah.
98% say yes, but
You know, I did not think we would talk about that ever on the show.
Here we are.
Things you didn't have on your bingo card.
just the last couple to hit here. Being a picky dater. Do you want somebody that you were dating to be a picky dater?
Are they dating me?
Obviously they are.
I mean, I would be a picky dater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to date someone who's like, oh no, I go out with
I just go out with anybody.
I have super low
I'm
standards.
so desperate at this point, I'll settle for even you.
That's exactly right.
Not good.
No, you're right. You're right with everybody else too. 79% said, no, that's not a deal breaker. That's actually a good thing. Last one. Well, there's one more here that's kind of like a broader question, but this is the last one of this type. It's
a broader question. So like for
What's
Hannah
that
and
have
me.
to do?
Yeah, it's for broads. Having BO. Is that a deal breaker?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I will add into this moment. Do they have BO when we are sitting down next to each other at the movies, or are we playing sports or doing something athletic and then they smell like they've been physically active? That's different.
It's a great question.
I mean,
I think,
'cause-
since it's the hypothetical, I'll answer your question.
He had sweat on him at the
This
gym.
is
I'm out.
this is BO that's developed over the course of the dinner.
Ew.
So you're eating in a nice
Oh,
restaurant.
gosh.
That's revolting.
Yeah, that is
It's lunchtime, Ryan. Have some respect for the listener.
Man.
BO that's developed over the course of
I
the
don't
dinner.
know.
is-
I'm just
That's
I'm
been
making that
building
up.
up.
If I pick you up for a date and you smell like a foot,
Are you white? You talking to Ryan?
anybody.
Yeah, he was looking at me when he said it.
Indiscriminate foot smelling.
Yeah. If you smell like a foot when I pick you up, or if you smell like perfume sprayed on a dirty foot,
Oh, I
How
thought
do you
just
tell
gonna
your
say
date that?
perfume.
They sit down in the car, you go, you smell like a
you
foot.
stink. Get out. This one's over.
Get out of here.
This one's over. Guess what? There's no second date there.
Nope. wasn't ever a chance.
You're
That's
among
a
the
deal breaker.
This is the worst dating advice from we have like a collective almost 50 years of marriage in this room.
Look, I guarantee you, there's somebody listening who goes, "Ooh, I wonder because
Maybe I should
have
shower."
Maybe I should shower before a date."
People in their
People are
office
lifting up their
cubicles right
armpits
now,
right now.
sitting there with their headphones in going,
I should shower. I should pay.
I've been on a lot of dates.
I should
And
organize
this
my
must
life.
be why nobody likes me. I smell terrible.
I shouldn't settle for just anybody.
Dirk says all the time, BO is a deal breaker. There you have it,
And I
Dirk.
got to stop pursuing my cousin.
I expect some basic.
I've been doing this incredibly backwards. I've the entire life changed.
I'm not
New
even
Year's
going to go to my
resolutions.
next family reunion. That's the only reason I was going. Having BO, 24% said no, that's not a deal breaker.
You know what's funny though? 15 years into your relationship, you're like, dude, put some deodorant on.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing
Yeah.
matters anymore.
Here, or you just pick it up and throw it on. Like, here, take a hint. You smell bad, and they'll do it right back to you.
Put
you
it
know?
on them while they're sleeping.
Oh, all right. Give us your dating advice on the YouTube live chat. We'll maybe read a couple of them ahead of time on the show in the next segment or two. Plus, ask us anything, as if you haven't learned enough already today. On the Annie Frey YouTube channel, we're streaming live on Facebook as well, the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. You put your question in there. Hannah's going to read us your concerns and your questions when we come back, and we will do our best to respond to them. It's Friday here on the Annie Frey Show, and we're so glad you're here. Back in a minute.
It's my time. It's my time. I play my feet on hell. Slow me down. Don't wear me down.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I saw my last dream roll out around me. I've tried to chase me down, fancy.
What's your favorite four-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our four-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
So the nutritional guidance program at Slim 180, which I have done, is so helpful to establish really good weight loss results quickly, but also weight loss habits and just healthy habits that you are going to be able to maintain when you are no longer working with Slim 180 to keep the weight down and even continue to lose the weight. Slim 180 is there to help you meet your New Year's resolutions in 2023. Getting healthy is achievable. Period. Full stop. When you have looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I don't feel the way I should feel, your knees ache, your back aches, everything is not functioning the way it's supposed to, there is a solution to help you achieve that healthy weight. Go to Slim 180. They've helped me lose weight. They've helped my friends and family lose weight. And I want you to give them the opportunity to help you as well. But you got to go to their website, myslim180.com, and learn about the location that's closest to you. Give them a call, set up a free consultation, and get on the path to a healthy weight today. Go online to myslim180.com.
What if everything you got came with a little bit of money? Spicy chicken ramen with a side of quarters, a full tank of gas, and a $5 bill, an entire pantry's worth of groceries, and a pocket full of cash. Well, then you'd be living life on the upside. The first platform that gives you real cash back in real life wherever you roll. Restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, all cash back opportunities. So order the expensive appetizer, buy a little extra at the store, fill your gas tank till the pump stops. Because with Upside, you can. Start earning cash back just for doing you. Download the free Upside app and use promo code SPICY for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code SPICY. Promo code SPICY, SPICY, for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Start living life on the upside with the free Upside app.
Well, the new year is here, and it's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the year. Carpets, tiles, rugs, upholstery, basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. So it's time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. Don't forget your air ducts either to help alleviate allergies or asthma. It's very important to enjoy less dust, lower energy bills, and your home is going to stay cleaner longer. If you book with Zero Res and you book and clean in January only, you get 23% off all services for 2023. If your home had a New Year's resolution, it would be to get clean. Let's face it. Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google with over 4,300 reviews, and the Zero Res 30-day Gotta Love It guarantee makes it easy to get what you pay for. I love them. They've been in my home many, many times. I trust professionals at Zero Res. It's a smarter, lasting clean. And ask for the Mark Reardon special for the 2023 January sale. 23% 33% off all services. Don't put it off. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResSTL.com or call 314-474-2020. Online at ZeroResSTL.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Micah Beckwith, director of Indiana's U.S. Term Limits Group.
You go to Walmart and ask 10 people, hey, do you want our politicians to have term limits in Washington? 10 out of 10 are probably going to say, yes, we do.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Some say don't give up and hope that your good is good enough. Head down, keep on working. If you can earn it, you deserve it. Some say push on through. After all, it's the least that you can do. But don't buy what they're selling. Couldn't be further from the truth. What if I were the one
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Well, I think your day's about to get better. What if I were the one to tell you that the work's already been done? It's not good news, it's the best news ever.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We normally do this off the air, but since we are kind of pants on fire today, we're just going to do it on the air. Does anybody have any Ask Me Anything questions of our own before we go to the audience?
Ooh, man, short warning. I'm going to pull up my
Let me
list.
pull up my file.
Yep. Well, I don't have
I know
any.
I'm really springing Ask Me Anything at 1:25 on a Friday on you right now.
I got one for you.
Okay.
I got one for everybody.
Well, we should do the professional thing and stall until Hannah hits the button.
Hannah.
Don't worry about stalling. Let's just talk until.
Talking about
It's
what?
on the
What
other
will we be
screen.
talking about?
Since we do this every week, Hannah would know where the button is.
Button panic. She's
Oh,
so close.
random thing on my mind. Have you guys heard about these blue light glasses
Blue light
everybody's wearing right
glasses?
now?
What?
I know.
I wear them all the time.
Do you really?
Excuse me.
Oh, never mind.
Say it. Thank you for your honesty.
You can't handle the truth. The truth shall set you free.
Oh,
Hit
ask
that-
me anything.
Oh, it's
Hit
Ask Me
that right on
Anything
the
time.
post.
Oh,
Hannah,
never mind about my question.
you got to give Hannah a little bit of leeway today. She was up at 6:30 on the air over at Y98. Is that right?
Yes, I was on the air by 6:30. Woke up at 4:50 in the morning.
That sounds terrible.
I could have listened, but instead I heard about it.
I was asleep. It's just the truth. Everyone wants a piece of Hannah.
I have
We cannot comment on that.
Take that pitch.
I have drank
Ooh, that's
so
a
much
ball.
coffee this morning. I warned the entire show that I feel very jittery.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I couldn't find the button.
All
Well,
right.
to answer your question, yes, you do feel jittery. And Brad's turn.
Okay. So I want you guys to think back to whenever you were 16 and you just got your license.
Mhm.
So you go to the DMV, you take your test, you get your license, you come home, and I don't know if you had a car or if you're taking mom and dad's car or whatever.
Stole a car.
But you're finally free
Mhm.
to go drive on your own. Where was the very first place that you drove to?
Ryan?
Ooh.
It was not my own. It was when a friend got his, because I was late. Everybody else got their car before me. But when my first friend turned 16 and we had the freedom to go with him, we all went to Sonic. And then we turned up, y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in
Oh,
here.
yeah.
And we just got in the back of the
That
truck
is
and we
so
just danced in the back of the truck for no reason. We called it Cool Truck Party.
Did you get your license at 5?
You don't remember what you did when you got your license?
No, because I was the last. Everybody else had them, so
Still a
it didn't
big
even
day.
matter.
Hannah?
Man, I remember exactly. I was one of the first people in my friend group to get a car and my license. And I took off. I played hooky from school on my 16th birthday. My grandma took me to the DMV. I already had my car and everything. And then I drove to school, even though I wasn't there. And I picked my friends up and we went to Culver's. And you were not supposed to drive, I think, more than one person when you're 16.
Yeah, your parents were strict.
No, that's the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The laws changed dramatically from when we
Yeah,
got our
yeah,
license. They were like, we don't even care.
Wait, the cops said you
No.
can only have one person in
law-
your
the
car.
Shouldn't
law
talk to the
said-
cops. It's the law.
The law said no more than one passenger and no Butterburgers.
Well, it's a passenger your age. Or
Yeah,
who's not
something
your
like,
sibling.
something
sibling.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I picked up 4 of my friends and took them to Culver's.
Take that, law. What'd you do, Brad?
So I got a car, but it was a 79 Ford Thunderbird. If you guys want to Google it, it's great.
I don't really.
But I got home, got in my car, which was a lot of fun. Drove all the way to Millstadt from Freeburg and saw my best friend, who was my best friend before I moved to Freeburg.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got in the car with my brother and a couple other people, and we went to a party.
Yeah. I
Sweet.
got
Top
my
showed up.
license. I think it was in June. I think it was like 2 months after, because you didn't get it necessarily right on your birthday, but it was close. I got my license, and my sister took me to the DMV. I think I don't know if my parents were like out of town or what. I don't think they were out of town, but they were occupied. And so like the very first moment I could get my license, I was like, I'm not waiting for them. My older sister took me to the DMV, and I got my license, and I came home. I had a 1991 red Ford Probe, and I was sitting in the driveway in my car by myself, and I was just looking at it, and this is like, cell phones were not functional the way cell phones were now. Like, I could call my parents, and I did, and they didn't answer. I think they were maybe golfing or something. So they were
They were washing their hair.
Yeah. And I just sat there and I'm like, I know that I am not supposed to get in this car and drive away without my parents' permission, but I don't care. So I drove probably 4 miles to one of my good friend, Kelly. I went to her house, and she got in the car with me, and we like made a lap around Edwardsville. And then I came home, and then when I got home, my parents were like, did you go driving? I was like, yes. And they're like, you cannot. I'm like, I know, I'm really sorry. I won't do it again. And then I didn't do it again, but I just knew it was like one of those moments that you don't get to have that first sit in the car moment twice. And I was going to take advantage of it. And I was a very agreeable to the law kid. I was a little disagreeable to the parents kid. But when I I can remember what the Ford Probe key looked like. I put it in the car, I turned it on, and Celebration by, the band's Kool and the Gang?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? I turned the car on, and the song started from the very first note. Just like that. And I'm like, we're out. I don't even like that song, but that song always reminds me of that moment. I didn't hesitate. I was just like, bye.
I have a story similar to that. I was not 16, but I got my car, I think 5 days before I turned 16, and my mom went to work. The car was in the driveway, and I was just
You didn't have a license?
No, I got the car before I got my license.
Criminal.
And
Rebel.
I turned it on.
She was running moonshine.
Was listening to the music. I was so excited. I remember my sister called me. She's like, why are you in the driveway? I'm like, I just love this thing. It's mine. I'm
So you didn't go anywhere?
No, I did.
Okay.
I went to
Hannah.
pick up my best friend. She lived a street over. And I remember I was so scared, but we just took a lap around the cul-de-sac. We took a lap around her cul-de-sac, and then we parked it. And I felt so guilty. I told my mom when he got home, I'm like,
I did that. A
And
lap around the cul-de-sac. That takes a total of about 10 seconds.
And you know what? That
it was freeing.
Just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I loved every second of it.
All right. We got another question?
Yes, we actually have questions for that are coming in from the live chat. Quick Rick asked for Annie, what was the first car you purchased yourself?
A 2010 Ford Taurus. That's the one I got carjacked in.
The first one
Got shot from.
First one that I purchased for myself was a 1987 Porsche 924S.
Same. I think I bought a 2001 Ford Focus in college.
I had a Focus. 2006.
Those are nice. They were like little eggs. This one was a hatchback, so it just looked like an egg.
Yeah, it's functional.
I bought myself my new Jeep in August.
Yep.
Let
Pretty
me
car.
read more Ask Me Anythings. We have so many comments about our YouTube poll today that I am having trouble finding the questions. Let's see here.
Those blue light glasses are really neat, though, aren't they? I mean, they kind of like take away your headache. Is that what they're meant to do?
That's why I wear them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kathy asked if we are off Monday, and if we are off, who is a fill-in?
Everybody but Hannah is off on Monday, and there is going to be a best of. So hopefully it doesn't include this segment.
It does not.
Here, I got
Lori
one.
asked,
Go ahead.
beach or mountains?
Beach.
Beach,
Ooh,
1,000,000%.
Beach, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd have to say beach at this phase of my life.
It hurt
too.
him to not dissent with everybody.
Yeah, I really
See
want
it on his face.
A mountain vacation sounds like a lot of fun. I just, at this point, I want to sit on a beach and not think.
Yeah, fact. What was your question?
Have you ever stolen anything?
Like from a store?
Anything from anywhere?
Yeah, I think I probably took money from like my parents, like $10 or something when I was a kid.
What a criminal you are.
Mhm. Never like.
I'm asking the wrong room. You guys are too good.
Have you?
Not from a store, but I have both times I really got, it was like divine justice, like reap what you sow. One time I remember being a little bitty kid and seeing a bunch of the other kids' baseball cards and going, I want those. Why shouldn't I have them? And just taking them. And then the kid found out. And then later somebody else did the same thing to me. And I was like, oh, that's a reason. No, it was completely unrelated.
Just a baseball card ring.
Yeah, apparently.
That you started.
But then much later in college, I remember one of the few times I didn't really drink a whole lot, but I got really drunk and we went to, of course, whoever was not drinking took us to White Castle and we all ate our fill. And then I walked outside and I was like, hey, there's just a bike sitting here. So I just got on this bike.
You stole a bike?
And I started riding it and then realized about halfway down this road that I was like, I think I just stole this bike though.
What'd you do?
I left it there and then I went left.
So you borrowed it.
Yes. Then
I mean that stands in a court of law.
I don't either. I think I accidentally stole that bike. And then, but within 6 months,
I think I accidentally stole
somebody did the exact same thing to my bike. When I was in college, they were walking by my, not dorm, but apartment in Carbondale and got on my bike and started riding it and left it halfway down the road, the exact same thing. And I'm like, okay, so I should not steal because I can see where this is going.
In fairness, you shouldn't steal because you just shouldn't steal.
Well, sure, but
it's not like the only way to know they're not steal is for someone to do it back to you.
Well, lesson learned though. Because
Okay.
I definitely saw the
second
writing
time.
on the wall the second time.
You got another question?
No.
No. All right. Well, let's go to a break. When we come back, we're going to get to some good news and take care of some business here on the Annie Frey Show, including some of the feedback on the YouTube live chat poll today. Who on the show would you most like to have a drink with? Hannah, Annie, Brad, or Ryan? Hannah will highlight some of your comments when we come back. And a couple more investigations being launched by the House Republicans. What are they? I'll give you that quick highlight detail when we return on the Annie Frey Show. Don't go away.
After all, it's the least that you can do, but don't buy what they're selling. Couldn't be further from
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Well, I think your day's about to get better.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The insulation in your home has a huge impact on whether or not you can effectively heat and cool your home. And a lot of people might think that their furnace or their air conditioner isn't working appropriately. And truly what's happening is it's working overtime because the insulation in your house is insufficient. Air Comfort Service is there to help you with this concern. They can look at your situation in your house. They can assess the insulation in your home. Did you know that 9 out of 10 homes are under insulated? reach out to Air Comfort Service to see if this is the problem that you have when you're keeping your home comfy and cozy in your comfort zone. You can increase your energy savings. Man, if I see another post about people getting their power bill right now and looking at how high they are going, you want to make sure that things like insulation in your home aren't working against you, as well as these high energy prices. Air Comfort Service can help you assess this situation, and you can save on future energy bills by making sure your home is properly insulated. Increase your comfort, also increase the quality of your air inside your home. Call them at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091 and get a free estimate today. Online at aircomfortservice.com/installation.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. Hypnosis is designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late-day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. That's right, seminars, Wednesday, February 1st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, St. Louis Airport in St. Louis, and Thursday, February 2nd at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis, Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminar.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Make the switch to green soaps and personal products and green cleaning products for the sink and shower. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Filtering the BS pushed by the mainstream media.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I got a feeling.
My name is Lucas Coombs. I've done a lot of running in my life. Running to stay healthy. Running to fight for my country. Running to defend democracy. Oh, and by the way, that guy you're looking at, that's not me. That's our current U.S. Senator Josh Hawley. This guy. Or maybe you'd better recognize him running for his life a few hours later. I swear, this coward's always running from something. And now, this is the guy who's writing a book telling every single one of us how to be a man. Now this is me, Lucas Coombs, running for Senate. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I did have the support of my community, which made me who I am today. When things get tough, Missourians deserve a U.S. Senator who will stand up for them, not run away. That's why I'm running to replace Josh Hawley.
Only you
be more
can
different.
prevent dumpster fires.
Dumpster fires.
Burning dumpsters.
It's totally out of hand.
So we want to do something here on the Annie Frey Show. We're going to cultivate some stories for a Friday segment like we're going to do right now. We're going to pick some of the comments that come out of the live chat that question whether or not we're covering things, or maybe suggest that because we're a certain kind of show that we won't cover certain types of issues. And why don't you highlight for us the question that was brought to us about that ad?
So the question was, have we discussed Lucas Kuntz's ad announcing that he was going to run against Josh Hawley? Because like when this ad first dropped, everybody thought this was some big, huge, major dunk on Josh Hawley. And,
you would if you were a Democrat.
Well, yeah.
Which is why you make the ad.
He already ran against, he lost in the primary.
Yeah, he didn't beat Trudy Bush Valentine.
Right. So I don't know why this would be a huge surprise to see him running again. I mean, it seems like pretty obvious.
So to be clear, this is for the 2024 race where Josh Hawley will be up for re-election. He mentions in there Josh Hawley's book that he's writing. I kind of forgot that he was writing a book, but now I'm kind of interested in what that book might say.
Me too.
So the question is if we've talked about that. And I'll be honest, as the person with the name on the show here, no, we didn't talk about it, but I'm not really talking about a whole lot of campaign things that have to do with 2024. And what you have to look at, we didn't talk a lot about Trudy Bush. Get her name right.
What's her name? Judy? Sweet Judy Blue Eyes?
We didn't talk anything about Judy.
No, but we did write a song.
Yes, we did.
Ryan did.
We did. Oh, well, that was about Eric Schmidt.
You wrote a song for Eric Schmidt.
Now, Trudy Bush Valentine had her own campaign song.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good effort. She tried.
Sure.
Worked really well for her.
The question in the 2024 Josh Hawley Senate seat race is, do Republicans in Missouri like Josh Hawley? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Very much. Republicans across the country like Josh Hawley a whole lot. And the Republicans that sent Josh Hawley to the United States Senate were in many cases skeptical about it. I think the dude's done a pretty good job. So no, we hadn't talked about it, but if a listener out there wants to hear what we have to think about it, Lucas Kuntz running for Senate as a Democrat, of course, to challenge Josh Hawley and makes his case there. And we wanted to make sure we acknowledge that for you, the listener. Is there another one?
There is.
Acknowledged.
And this is the big one that everybody's like, why haven't you talked about this guy yet? So George Santos, have we talked about George Santos yet?
I don't think it's come up at all.
I did when I filled in for you. That was when that was breaking. So that's probably why you don't remember talking about it, because you were off when that really broke.
When was that?
It was before
That was
Christmas.
Before it was the
In
week
December?
between Christmas and New Year's.
So, but we haven't really, not since he's been sworn. I mean, he's a congressman now. So George Santos, what will you tell us about him?
He just lied on his resume quite a bit, and there's not much more to it. That's what he did.
I am a Republican. I'm a conservative. Ryan, you would call yourself a conservative Republican?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Hannah?
Yep, 100%.
So we are conservative Republicans in here. What should the Republican Party do about George Santos? Or who has a responsibility here? What should George Santos do? What should people pressure him to do? What are your thoughts?
Do you want the cynical Brad? Because the cynical Brad says that George Santos probably should step down because he did lie, but he owes his loyalty isn't to the Republican Party and it isn't to the Democrat Party. He doesn't owe those people anything. The only people that he owes anything to is his constituents, the people that voted for him.
What do they say?
Well,
that's the question.
That's what I'm not sure. I know that the Nassau County GOP has called for him to resign, but I don't know what the voters say. But if I were him,
is that the county he's in?
I think
so. Is that
so.
part of what he's in?
I think so. In New York. So I think what he should do, and this is where the cynical Brad comes in, is I think he should go before the House and do his resignation speech and apologize, but mention all the other lies that have ever been told by any of these other politicians that have ever done it, and then resign at the end. So it's like, I'm sorry that I did this, but I also am sorry that Liz Warren did and lied about her Native American heritage. I'm sorry that Senator Blumenthal lied about this. And I would just line it all up just so everybody could see all it is and just burn it down on
Joe
the way
Biden.
and just burn it down on the way out. You know, it's ridiculous. Like, either we have standards. So I don't understand why people on the Democratic side are flipping out over Georgia. Well, I do understand why.
Say, you get it.
But it's stupid. What Santos did was wrong. He shouldn't have lied about it, but it's no more wrong than what Blumenthal, what Biden, what Warren, and any other politician who's ever lied. Politicians lied to you to get elected.
Democrat or Republican?
Democrat or Republican. It's a shocker, right? I know, but I'm
Ryan,
just so over it.
You're a huge George Santos fan.
I'm out. I'm out on that. I'm out of the closet on that. Go ahead.
Well, since we're telling lies.
Oh, okay. No, I'll make the same point I made the day that this was happening. And it's actually pretty similar to yours, I think, with a different outcome, though, that somebody should stand up and say, here's what I think. I think George Santos should, maybe this is Speaker of the House, stands up and says, well, here's what we're going to do with George Santos. George Santos, we're going to call on him to step down. We're also going to call on this person, this person, this person, this person, this person to all step down. And if they all will at the same time, then we will all be able to Pontius Pilate our hands and walk away from this, and nothing will happen. But you will have addressed it. And right now, they really just haven't addressed it. So I think that's a really easy way to do that, though.
Fox News reported yesterday, Congressman George Santos says he's not resigning. That is, if you believe him. Still, House Speaker McCarthy isn't doing anything about Santos. McCarthy will even assign Santos to House committees. McCarthy says, I try to stick by the Constitution, and the voters elected him to serve. He's going to have to build the trust here, and he's going to have the opportunity to try to do that. McCarthy noted that Santos has a right to serve here. I disagree with that. If it's known, and it is, that George Santos lied his way into the House of Representatives, I'd probably relegate him to the same scenario that the Democrats put Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that the Republicans are putting Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell and Ilhan Omar, and say, you're here. If you can, on your own merit, win re-election with the truth, then we will reconsider. You got yourself this far. If your constituents demand, I think Brad makes the most important point, is what do his constituents want from him? Good grief. If you ask Democrat voters, which they did, post 2020 election, had you known all this information about Hunter Biden, would you change your vote? A lot of them said that they would consider changing their votes. Nobody's going back and revoting. Folks on both sides of the aisle, nobody is going back and revoting. Would it make a difference? Yes. In this instance, would it make a difference? I think it would. I don't know what the margins were, but I do think that if his position in the House exists, then he is there as one man and one man only, and that the Republican Party does show there are consequences for these actions, and we don't value that. And if the constituents of that district want him to resign, they should call upon him to resign. I can't stand by what he did. I'm not going to defend it either. And I also don't think that McCarthy should be giving him committee assignments. He shouldn't be given extra responsibility. If we are making the case on both sides of the aisle that a Republican or Democrat can serve in the House and make that be their bare minimum, that there's no extra responsibilities tasked to them, I think he's a qualified candidate for that treatment. Hannah, you got any thoughts on that? Nope. Okay, fair. Didn't want to leave you out. All right. So those are a couple of the stories that we did here, that comments that we pay attention to during the course of a week, of people wanting to know what we think about things. And a lot of times people are assessing that we would never talk about that type of stuff on the show. And the truth is that there's really nothing that's off the table for us to talk about other than what we are regulated by the FCC to say or not be able to say. So we aren't afraid of those stories. We'll talk about them.
Push the limits sometimes.
Yeah. And we'll put them all in a nice little package there for you on Fridays. Do you want to get to some of the YouTube live chat poll? Tell us what the poll is and give us some of the comments that you've gotten so far.
Yes. Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking, who on the show would you most like to have a drink with? Hannah, Annie, Brad, or Ryan?
So that is in order of our ages. Hannah turned 21 last October. Brad, a little bit about having a drink with you.
Yeah, you're going to be the one drinking. I will be having iced tea or a soda or something.
Are you okay with sitting with someone and having if they have a drink?
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's just your
problem.
personal preference.
Choice.
Yep. Ryan?
We'll just be becoming friends. I'll
Cheap
just be
date.
sitting there looking you right in the eye and saying, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself this time? I do enough
Folks,
talking.
you cannot change your YouTube.
Why do you talk like that when you say
we're at
you
a
can't
bar.
change your answer once you submit it, so be
Yeah.
careful with that. I will
Give
read
us some
of the
reaction.
comments. Larry said, I voted Brad. I would like to chat up U.S. history with him.
No, Larry.
Kim said, I voted Ryan. I love his show on Saturday mornings.
Love you.
He'll love you a lot.
I love you long time.
I was going to say that. And I was like, that's not really my place.
Lori Felt said,
Apparently, that's where I draw the line. I
Not
just
me.
realized that right now. It's different if you say it than if I say it.
Lori Felt said that she would want to drink with Annie because then we can talk about the guys.
I thought at first it said guys. I'm like, I'm not really into that, but the guys, okay. I guess you're talking about you guys.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we're the guys.
Yeah.
Spill the beans,
Brian
the tea.
said, I would have a drink with Ryan. Everyone else is intimidating. Wow.
I'm not sure if I am okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
I kind of want to be respected a little more than loved. I don't think Brian feels the same way. Okay.
All right, we're gonna leave it with that. Once again, the YouTube poll.
Brian, just so you know, I'd use my bar voice. I'd say, listen, let's talk a little bit about some serious stuff.
Oh,
whoa. Hey.
Hey. So on Monday, you
Brian,
can
let's
listen to
sit and
Annie
listen to
Frey
the
Show.
Black Eyed
It'll be the
Peas.
best of the Annie Frey Show, but aren't you lucky to be listening to the worst of it right here, right now? We'll be back with more Annie Frey Show in just a minute. X's and O's with our friends Trisha and Anna. Is that right? As they come in to face off, and excited to see what Ryan has put together this week. And a little Annie,
It's
are
a
you
tough one.
okay?
It's a tough one.
I like it. A little challenge ahead of us. Join us on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat. We miss you. Come say hi. Back in a minute.
I'm Howard Mackler of GetRefunds.com. You may have heard me talk about the payroll tax refund program that gives businesses up to $26,000 for every employee they kept on payroll during COVID. But today, I'm not going to do the talking. I'm letting a real Get Refunds client tell you everything. I'm Evan, owner of Laveau DWI Law. I heard about the payroll tax refund and GetRefunds.com on the radio. When COVID hit my business, everything shut down. Revenue, phone calls, all business. The new cost of operating during COVID hit hard too. I had to personally fund my business. GetRefunds.com got me approved for a payroll tax refund, and with that money, allowed me to recoup losses and costs, even where I had positive income in the later quarters of COVID recovery. If you have a business, you should go to GetRefunds.com and start your claim right now. GetRefunds.com helped their business, and we can help yours too. Go to GetRefunds.com and see if you qualify in just 8 minutes. GetRefunds.com, powered by Innovation Refunds.
If you've been thinking about vision correction in the new year, there's no better time to get it than right now. Mark Cox for my friends at Brenton Vision. They have everything you need to help achieve that crisp, clear vision you deserve. Call them at 314-375-2020 or go online at BrentonVision.com. Brenton is the home to the only team in Missouri to perform all 7 FDA-approved forms of modern vision correction. That's modern LASIK, permanent contact lenses, and if you have bad reading vision, they even have treatments for that too. Do what our friend Jessica from O'Fallon, Missouri did. Go to Brenton Vision for a consultation. See what you're a candidate for. Jessica told us to be able to see clearly without the use of glasses is such an incredible feeling. So if bad vision is standing in your way, call Brenton Vision, 314-375-2020, or schedule right now at BrentonVision.com. That's BrentonVision.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Partly sunny skies on tap going through our Friday afternoon, but it's windy and it's cold. 35, that winter feel back for a change. Tonight, clear skies, diminishing winds, going down to 22. Saturday, sunny and 45. Sunday, a mix of clouds and sunshine up to 53. Monday, holiday for a lot of folks. Periods of rain, though, and 58, so it's all rain. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Lisa Brady, Fox News. A day after a special counsel was appointed to investigate President Biden's handling of classified documents.
Any questions that we may have about
the review, about the process, I would refer you to the Department of Justice. I would also refer you to my colleagues over at the White House Counsel.
But spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre is also defending their response, saying it's been transparent and that it's an ongoing process when pressed again on delays in public disclosure about the documents found at one of the president's homes in Delaware and an office he used in D.C. after serving as vice president. The White House also digging in on the upcoming debate about raising the debt ceiling, noting bipartisan cooperation in the past.
It's not and should not be a political football.
Jean-Pierre says the White House will not negotiate on the issue. The Treasury Secretary says the U.S. will hit its debt ceiling next Thursday, prompting steps to avoid default for now. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has talked about a spending cap as part of a possible deal. The former president loses another round in court.
U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan declined to throw out a defamation lawsuit by writer E. Jean Carroll against former President Trump, saying the argument posed by the former president was, quote, without merit. Carroll's suit accuses Trump of defamation for denying he raped her in a Manhattan department store dressing room in the mid-90s. Judge Kaplan also rejected the former president's argument that Carroll's claim under New York's Adult Survivors Act must be dismissed because the law violated the due process clause of the state constitution.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, that law offered a 2-year window for sexual assault claims that would have exceeded the statute of limitations. Earlier, sentencing day in New York for the Trump Organization ordered to pay $1.6 million in fines in a tax fraud case. America is listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Andy Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, January 24th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online today at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and concerned about losing even more money this year in your retirement accounts? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k tax-free to protect your nest egg from any more losses and still generate more income than most investment options. Would you like to know why our clients have not lost a penny with all the market volatility this past year? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, January 24th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Get your year started off right with a scheduled appointment at Fountains Family Dentistry. Get your teeth cleaned. You know it's something you need to do, and you probably haven't done it in a long time enough. I talk about it all the time, and I know I need to make my appointment right now for my 6-month visit. But if it's been more than 6 months, certainly if it's been more than a year, check out fountainsfamilydentistry.com. They're going to be able to work it into your schedule, which I also understand is probably the hardest part of even making an appointment, is just making time for the appointment. So if you have kids, or if you don't, if it's just you and you have dental anxiety, Fountains Family Dentistry is the best place to go. They're so nice, and they'll make you very, very comfortable. My kids all go there, and they actually love going to the dentist, not just because we know Dr. Ty Parker, but because they make them feel so comfortable, and they all walk away with a little gift bag with a little Toy Story toothbrush and stuff. So great for kids, but great for you too if you have any sort of anxiety about going to the dentist. Fountains Family Dentistry is in Fairview Heights, Illinois, just off of Highway 64, so easy to get to anywhere in the Metro East, but also if you're in Missouri, easy to get to off of Highway 64. Go to fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great.
Seminars, Wednesday, February 1st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. And Thursday, February 2nd at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis, Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminar.com.
You don't need special gadgets to be a hero. With unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere, the Capital One Quicksilver Card makes you the hero of every purchase. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Celebrating 22 years as St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Thanks for being a part of it.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
Like, you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
What an Annie Frey show it is today, folks. Thanks for joining us here on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis's home for conservative talk. We are working out some kinks in the studio. Boy, could I take that place.
That's an understatement.
I didn't cue the drums.
No, you didn't.
That's premature drummage.
That's what I would have said if you hadn't said it, but you did say it, so
that
I didn't.
doesn't even make sense.
It does.
You're just saying words.
I'm
Chill
still
out
in the
back
time
there.
because clearly you weren't ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, you ready now?
Yeah. It's X's and O's time, and we are glad that you are here with us. It is chaos. We might get fired after the show. Trisha's in here to assess the situation. And hi, Trisha. Hi, Annie. She walked in today and she saw the green screen behind me in the studio. She was like, whoa. I'm like,
Then we went off air.
So I'm standing in front of a lovely mountain range and stream, which from the commenters, they said this is the stream that they brew Bud Select from, which we were just very interested in the specificity of that comment.
Yes, it wasn't just beer or Budweiser. It was Bud Select.
Bud Select.
Which was funny.
And we're also joined by Anna, the digital... What is your title?
Digital content president.
President of digital content.
Sure.
Digital POTUS.
Yes, digital POTUS in studio with us. And Anna is the one who makes all the YouTube shorts for the show and does so much amazing digital work for the Annie Frey Show and for 97.1. And we love having her in here. But now we're going to watch Trisha and Anna fight and tear each other apart in pursuit of an X's and O's victory, which would be a great time to cue the drums. But since we're here already, what are you doing?
That drummer was just really feeling it.
The digital POTUS forgot to turn her own studio light on.
Well, she's the president. She doesn't turn her own light on.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody in a lowly position like you turns her light on for her.
Transportation secretary. Trust me, I've been hearing all about it. All right, this is called X's and O's. This is our version of tic-tac-toe, where every one of those 9 squares behind you, ladies, has a corresponding question to it. And you have 3 celebrities in front of you, celebrity experts.
We're just experts.
Who can answer those questions for you. You get to pick between them. They each can answer 3 times. You, of course, know all this. You've played a few times before, but I figured I'd explain it.
This time a little more difficult?
I do. I feel like about 60 to 70% of this one, which would be roughly 6 to 7 of the questions. Since there are 9, well, that doesn't divide exactly.
Let's not get caught up in the math.
This isn't about semantics. This is about fun and questions, you know? So let's get to the fun and questions. Which one of you has lost the most and won the most? That's how we'll determine who goes first.
Sucks. I've only won once.
I don't remember.
I'm probably the biggest loser here right now.
Then I think Anna should go first.
You are the biggest loser.
You are the biggest loser.
I loved that show.
I did too.
I was a big fan of it.
I'm going to go square 3 because it looks like my name's already in it. And
and it should be yours. That sounds like a good
and
point.
Hannah.
Okay, Hannah, square number 3, and right out of the gate, you have stumbled into sound. This is sound from the week run through artificial intelligence software. So this is a real quote, not from the real person who said it. I need to know who said this.
Go home and tell your moms. They are going to be really excited about that. Come on. Is this how the House Republicans are starting their new term?
I wish. Well, I can't say that right now. Carry on.
So one more time, just in case we kind of laughed over that one, but this is serious business.
Go home and tell your moms. They are going to be really excited about that. Come on. Is this how the House Republicans are starting their new term?
I'm going to say Joe Biden.
You're going to say Joe Biden. Anna, what are you going to say?
Sure, I'll agree.
Go home and tell your moms. They're going to be really excited.
Don't you wish your president sounded like that?
Come on.
Yeah.
Is this how House Republicans are starting a new term?
It was right after that clip ended that he said,
I'm really glad you
if it
didn't
makes it to my
pick the
desk, we're going to veto it.
I'm just curious of what that would have sounded like.
ASMR warning. Oh, yeah. Let's.
It was between that and go tell your moms. And I chose go tell your moms. All right. So Anna is on the board first. Up next is Trisha.
All right. I'm going to go number 7.
Number 7.
I'm left. And Brad.
Man, you guys are straight up stumbling into some sound right out of the gate. Brad, this again is another real clip from the week run through AI. Here is the clip.
Santa Claus may need to not do Chinese toys because let's just make it here, make it honestly anywhere, but not China.
That's Sebastian Gorka.
That is, in fact, robot Sebastian Gorka reading a real clip from the week.
Doesn't he do Australian Dream or something like that?
That's a politician talking about Santa visiting his kids. Just one more time there.
Santa Claus may need to not do Chinese toys because let's just make it here, make it honestly anywhere, but not China.
It's a politician talking about Santa visiting his kids. Santa Claus may not need to do Chinese toys because let's just make it here. Make it honestly anywhere but China. Brad, you are the clip master.
Yeah.
And you have a far off gaze in your eyes right now.
Excuse me, a what?
The drummer is pounding.
I feel that in my
That's not the only thing.
It's my job to make this poetic, Annie.
Just wondering what you just asked him there.
He's gazing into the mountains behind Annie.
He's oozing confidence.
Josh Hawley.
Josh Hawley. Man, the drummer is getting intense here.
He is
We're only
sweaty.
2 questions into the game. Is that Josh Hawley?
It's not a bad guess, and I don't know the answer, but he was so unsure. I'm going to say no.
Well, here's who it is.
Santa Claus may need.
That's my boy.
That is.
Look at this today.
Got it.
Got it. Dang it. Always trust Brad.
Make it honestly anywhere, but not.
That's Ron DeSantis. You were
Yeah.
right.
That is Ron
I was
DeSantis.
okay.
No, you were right.
Never
But-
trust Brad.
Never trust Brad. Yeah, that's the
Mine
lesson.
Never trust
so
Brad
far in
either.
the sand.
That's why I was like, he should be the EP of the show.
Breaking
You
Brad.
can never trust him. Just do the opposite.
All right. No, you got the question right.
Good. Okay.
So there you go. You're on the board.
All right.
Yay.
O's. Anna, your turn.
All right, I'm going square 9 and Annie.
Woohoo!
Man, you know where you're going so fast, you don't give me a chance to catch up.
That's my bad. you only have a week to prep I'll this. slow it down.
It's your game.
Square 9, eh? Which expert do you want to use here?
Blue light glasses.
said Annie.
Oh, Annie. Oh, okay.
Those dang
Well,
blue
someone
light
explain
glasses.
this game to Ryan Wiggins.
I'm getting more mileage out of this sounder this week. It's a speaker series.
Speakers is vibrating.
Again?
Yeah, we got a couple of this. The speaker series is hanging on for another
Oh,
week.
man, I missed that.
All right, this is about the Speaker of the House or the House in general. The question is, a member of the House Freedom Caucus tweeted out that Speaker Kevin McCarthy is indeed kicking 3 key Democrats off of Intel and Foreign Affairs committees. Name any one of these 3 Democrats that will be removed from key committees.
Elon Omar, Eric Swalwell, and Adam Schiff.
Any one. And I would not be confident in that.
Yeah, with that confidence, I gotta agree.
Yeah, you just happen to be right. That is correct.
Just happened to be right.
All 3 of those are Exactly right. That's what you get for watching the news too much. That means it's Trisha's turn.
All right, let's go for number 6.
All right, for the block, or you're going to hand her a tic-tac-toe pretty early in the game here. Number 6. Who's answering this question for you?
It's going to be Hannah.
Hannah. This is sound altered, a little bit different than sound AI. So this is a real quote, altered. And I'll give you some context here. At the end of the year, this former first lady was asked by ABC News whether Joe Biden should run again in 2024. This was her real response, run through chipmunk sound.
You know, I will have to see.
Now that is unaltered for timing, just in pitch. That's a real quote.
I'm going to say former First Lady Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama. Agree or disagree?
I'm going to agree.
You are correct. That is right. That is Michelle Obama.
So wait, she said that she was going to have to wait and see about running?
No. The question was, should Joe Biden run again in 2024?
You'd think she would have a little more
And
confidence
she'd think
there.
she'd know the talking point.
Okay.
And here's what.
You know, I will have to see.
Yep, that's on ABC News if you want to see it.
All right. Well, we're about halfway through X's and O's here with Trisha and Anna, and nobody's won anything yet. So this is a good, tight game. You have more questions coming, of course. Anna and Trisha will continue to face off here, and we love getting your comments in the YouTube chat. Also, while we are going through this, if you like to answer the questions there, we're always paying attention to that too. So stick around. We're going to finish X's and O's with Anna and Trisha when we come back. Don't go away.
I know, you know, I go psycho when my new joint hit.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
That's it, the honey, come ride.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Stuff in it, give it to your friend, let's spin. Everybody looking at me, glancing a kid. Wishing they was dancing a jig here with this handsome kid. Sick a cigar right from Cuba Cuba. I just bite it. It's for the look, I don't light it.
So, you've unwrapped a new device this year. Don't forget to take your favorite stations and podcasts with you.
No matter where you go.
With the Odyssey app.
Stream the music and shows you love on your phone, tablet, laptop, smart speaker, and more.
Create an account to save your favorites across devices.
And jump back to the moments that matter most with Rewind.
Your favorite local listening. Available when and how you want.
Download the Odyssey app today to get started.
So I want to talk to you about Stewart's American Mortgage and how he can help you get in a better financial position right now. There's a variety of ways that he can do that. A number one way that a lot of people are looking right now is folks who have purchased a home in the last 4 or 5 months or so. Mortgage rates went through the roof. They've come down considerably since then. You can refinance that mortgage that you just got with Stewart's American Mortgage using the bagel loan and not pay any fees or any of those closing costs that go along with moving through that process, which means essentially you can lower your rate with basically no punitive damages to yourself. Reach out to Stewie to get this process started today. He has an incredibly fast close as well. Ask him about the bagel loan and he'll talk to you about your particular situation and tell you exactly how he can help you. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Call him, talk to him about what you were thinking, and he'll tell you how he can help you at Stewart's American Mortgage with a bagel loan. Call or text 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
What if everything you got came with a little bit of money? Spicy chicken ramen with a side of quarters, a full tank of gas, and a $5 bill, an entire pantry's worth of groceries, and a pocket full of cash. Well, then you'd be living life on the upside. The first platform that gives you real cash back in real life wherever you roll. Restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, all cashback opportunities. So order the expensive appetizer, buy a little extra at the store, fill your gas tank till the pump stops. Because with Upside, you can. Start earning cash back just for doing you. Download the free Upside app and use promo code SPICY for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code SPICY. Promo code SPICY. SPICY for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Start living life on the upside with the free Upside app.
You found 97.1 FM Talk, where we ask questions, even when the legacy media won't. Especially when the legacy media won't.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk.
Yes. Well, looky here, what do we have?
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
I love you so. Hey, that's what you say. You tell me, baby, please don't go away. But when I play, I never stay. So every girl that I meet, yeah, this is what I say.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We've got in studio with us Trisha and Anna to play a little X's and O's on a Friday afternoon. Have you guys been keeping up with the Twitter files? It's difficult. Knock it off. I'm not there yet. Who did that? You did that? You did that? It's the drummer. It's the drummer. Where's the drummer? Get the drummer in the corner for a second. Actually, let's just talk about Twitter files with drums. It's even more exciting. Have you, Brad, been following the Twitter files?
I have not seen the latest dump.
Aren't there like over 20 Twitter file
we're
dumps?
like way up there.
And I've been watching every dump.
Yep. Okay. Take it over.
With safe search on.
Uh-huh. What do you Google?
I just Google massive dump Twitter.
No.
We're so close to being done, guys. Come on.
In so many ways.
I like this job. Let's not ruin it.
It's good to hear.
Yeah. Well, we all know that I'm on this computer. So when the engineers come in, they see somebody's
Might
been
be Kathleen.
massive dump Twitter. I want everybody to know on the record that it's morning news lady Kathleen.
I've never met like 6 times.
I've never met Kathleen. I'm going to have to meet her now.
She's nice. She won't be here long if Brian keeps using her computer, though.
No kidding. All right. Carry on. We've got, who's X's?
Me. Anna.
Anna has an X in the top right and the bottom right. Trisha has an O in the middle right and in the bottom left. So nobody has made a tic-tac-toe yet, and we got 5 spots left. Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine.
It is Anna's turn.
All right.
Anna has won once. Trisha could not be bothered to remember ever having played the game.
That's not
Has
true.
no idea
My
where
guess
she is.
I've
right now.
won all the times, but I do think I lost.
Did you beat
once.
Steve?
Yeah. Yes.
That's the one.
100%.
We've since we've had some pipes burst here. Trisha has been in my office quite a bit. In fact, sharing my office.
It's exhausting.
I
mean, we're
walked-
having a great time.
I
Yes.
walked into
Tell
the
me about
office
it.
in between segments once to get a little drinky poo, and and she asked me, I kid you not, give me all the answers to X's and O's ahead of time. And I said no, and she said, fine, I'm getting into your folder. Did you not?
No, that is not at all how that went down. I did tell you to lock your computer.
Speaking of massive dumps.
It's hard for me not to just look over and cheat.
Yeah, they are
mean,
right there.
I totally could.
Yeah, you
she
could.
keeps it wide open.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry. I could turn the screen, I guess.
You
That'd be
could do
really
a lot
hard.
about it,
If you-
actually.
If you turn the screen, then I would be able to see it.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't need to see
Let's
it.
I'm in a
all be good
lose-lose
people
situation
and not
here.
cheat.
Yeah, please don't.
Ryan's
Santos
statement
this.
is there is nothing that I can do about this is a generalized Ryan Wiggins statement, which very rarely is accurate.
I will tell you this. This was supposed to be a very difficult X's and O's, and I still think we got some tough ones coming up. But Annie, one of the toughest ones, you nailed it. And
You're saying I'm the toughest one?
One of the toughest questions.
Oh,
I'm not saying you're not a tough person, Annie. Don't hear me wrong. I'm not saying Annie is a weak person. What I'm saying is number 9 was supposed to be a tough question, and you got it. That's all I was saying. And then number 7 about Santa Claus being DeSantis was a tough question, but Trisha still got it because she knew you didn't know it. So anyway, this is
I didn't know if I got it right or wrong.
But you did.
It's been quite the game.
So
Anna's turn.
We're getting into the tough questions here is my whole point. Anna, your turn.
I'm going to go with square one.
Top left.
I'll give you a second to get there.
Okay, thank you. And here we are. Who would you like to answer that question,
And
Anna?
I'm going to choose Brad.
All right, we're back into the speaker series here.
Made a terrible mistake.
Love that.
Brad, while Republicans have been focused on committees and rules changes, House Democrats have decided to file an ethics complaint against which sitting member of the House?
Santos.
George Santos?
George Santos.
Okay, not one of the other members
the
of
other
the Santos House clan.
Yeah, Santos of New York.
Yikes.
I'll agree, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Good
I didn't know we
choice.
were going to talk about George Santos in the segment right before this, but there you go. That is correct. All right. Still no tic-tac-toe. This is a good game.
Well played, Anna. See what you did here.
Left you up a creek is what she did.
Show did. I'm going to take middle. 5.
Center square.
All right, here we go. Number 5. Who's answering this question for you?
Annie.
Yeah. Ooh.
Annie. Ooh.
I love that enthusiasm.
We got Annie.
We got Annie.
We've got Annie.
What's that from G.I. Joe 1984?
I don't think I've ever played that before. I love it. Anyway.
Number 5.
Where's Annie? She had to go bathroom. She had to go bathroom.
She took a massive dump.
Oh, no,
Ryan.
Every
Rude.
time.
Ryan.
You
Wow.
played
The
Annie just went to the
Frey Show.
bathroom after we were talking about massive dumps. I connected the dots that everybody else was connecting.
That's the only conclusion you could come to publicly on the air.
Everybody else is thinking it. I'm just going to say it. I'm like Eminem.
On St. Louis.
What the heck is happening? I was on a really good tirade, too.
You've lost control.
That's somebody else. That's not me.
Thrilled to have found Annie.
No, you're doing this on purpose now. You're doing this.
This whole show is supposed to be on purpose.
Number 5, President Biden and President Trump had classified documents at their houses. President Biden said his classified documents were parked right next to his car in the garage.
I want to adopt her.
What kind of car was it? It was a Corvette.
I wasn't listening to anything you said. My answer is blue.
Anna, what do you think? Blue?
Wait, is it my turn?
No, it's my turn. Is the question what color is the car?
Oh, no.
No, it's not, but she answered it ahead of time. So what am I supposed to do?
What's the question?
Which manufacturer makes Corvette?
Ford.
I'm going to say no.
Blue.
Yeah. Blue.
Yeah.
Go blue.
It is neither blue nor Ford. Brad, you want to answer that
It's a
question?
Chevy.
It is Chevy.
That's what I would have seriously guessed, but I didn't want to give a serious guess and be wrong.
Well played.
Chevy Corvette, right?
Yes, that
You
would
got
have been
it.
my guess too, but I'm glad you gave me the look after you said Ford. 'Cause I
You
was
shook
like,
your head
wait.
no. You gave her the answer.
Definitely. I chose to give her the answer. That's the whole game.
It is?
Yes. I give her the answer.
Thank you, Annie.
I am confident that Ford makes the Corvette.
I was confident in my answer.
Sure they do not.
I'm pretty sure they do, dude.
All those people driving around with the little cartoon character with the tiger, what's Calvin, peeing on the Ford thing, are like, that's right. Smack her around a little bit.
Yeah, that's what they're thinking right now. Trisha, go ahead and take that square if you haven't yet. Oh, you have. Look at that.
Anna's on it.
All right.
You're
on
in
it.
the same room as we are. It's right there.
You've been in a different location all day.
I know.
You were in the mountains.
And somehow I'm still
you were in
with
an
the show.
Airbnb.
This is your segment.
Anna, Which square would you like to go to as if we don't know you're going to choose 2?
Yep, I'm gonna choose 2.
And which person are you choosing to answer number
who's
2?
left?
We're all
I think
left.
we all have one more.
Okay, Hannah.
Okay, last one for me.
Hannah, new TV ratings are in. The
Yippee.
5 on Fox News is the top news program on all of TV now, beating even Fox News' own primetime lineup. The Washington Post reports that the 5 is actually second in all of TV, not just news. They're the second rated program in all of TV now. Which Paramount show, famous for its landscapes,
Yellowstone.
is first overall?
Yellowstone.
Blue.
Blue.
Ford.
Blue Ford. Blue Ford.
Is
light glasses.
Yellowstone's on Paramount Plus?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll agree.
Correct. Can you believe Yellowstone costs what? $100 million to make the show? The 5 is 5 people sitting on a TV set. It's number 2. That's incredible. All right, Trisha, your
Ryan.
turn. Anna's got a tic-tac-toe.
Do I keep playing after she wins?
Oh, yeah, you can get one here. You can still get one.
You do a coverall.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, 4. Let's do it.
Okay, 4.
And Brad again.
Brad. A viral clip circulated the internets, apparently showing Ben Affleck working at a Dunkin' Donuts. Are you familiar with this show, Internet Queen?
No.
This show. This question. This show. Are you familiar with this show that you're on? It's the Annie Frey
Digital
Show.
POTUS, not Internet Queen.
Sorry.
What's the question?
I'm so
I don't-
confused.
All right. Ben Affleck, this circled the internet. Ben Affleck working.
Like circles the internet. Man, that's outdoor
Wow.
stuff.
Ben Affleck working at a
Wow.
Dunkin' Donuts. Pictures were circulating.
Yep. Go
Okay.
The true false question is, was it actually Ben Affleck working at a Dunkin' Donuts, or was it just a lookalike?
Oh man, I never looked at anything past the headlines.
I know you look at Ben Affleck pics every day.
Just
So
when they
weird.
come through my feed,
All right.
just all the time.
It's your algorithm
great
knows what
eyes.
you
And
like.
my
opinion is it's weird.
Get lost in those eyes.
Did you hear what he just said? He said he gets lost in those eyes. He's talking about Ben Affleck.
Have you seen his eyes?
Yes.
Then you know what's up.
I guess I kind of do.
Okay.
So is it true false? Was it actually Ben Affleck?
Yeah. Was Ben Affleck actually working for Dunkin' Donuts?
We got a 50-50 shot
Yeah,
here,
it's a
Brad. and I'm going to go
50-50.
with whatever you
I'm
say.
going to say true.
All right, we're saying true.
You guys, you got it. It was him. It was him. Apparently, he's filming a new Super Bowl commercial for Dunkin' Donuts, and he was working at a Dunkin' Donuts.
All the headlines, because that's all I read too, they all made it seem like Ben Affleck was doing his dream job, working at Dunkin' Donuts. Like he's finally fulfilling his passion.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Or that he had fallen so far from his career
Yeah.
that
that's
he was
how I
now
would
forced to
interpret it.
work at a Dunkin' Donuts.
Hard
Rude to
times.
Dunkin'.
Okay. Even
Yeah.
though this game seems all over the place, the next square determines who wins.
Thank you,
This is what
Hannah.
happened to me
Yeah.
last game.
Did you win last game?
I did.
You did.
So,
All right.
So it's all on the line.
So
on
you've
this
been
one.
here
Oh,
before.
and it's your
You got
turn.
this.
This is good for you.
This is good radio, too. Let's just stay right here and acknowledge.
Yeah.
Now is happening now. What happened then?
The silence.
When? Just now. We're at now. Go back to then. When? Now. Now? Now. I can't. Why? We missed it. When? Just now. When will then be now? Soon.
All right.
He's holding in this very space-ballian moment.
Have you ever seen Spaceballs, Hannah?
No.
I
Oh,
believe
we
that.
have to have a movie night.
I've seen it, but it's been probably 10 years.
We have
Yeah.
to have a movie night.
Man, this is so funny. There's nothing worse than watching a movie that you think is so funny with people who are like, this is not funny.
Yeah.
We should have you two review it.
Spaceballs
Sure.
review.
Take it away, Ryan.
I see your Schwartz.
As big as mine.
Number 8. I'm
For the
assuming that's the square you want to pick here, Annie.
Yeah.
Anna, there's
Yeah,
just
Annie.
one question.
Yeah, I guess
All
I'll
right.
go
At
8.
last, we meet for the first time for the last time.
Yep. All right. Who's answering this question? Who's still on the board? Is it Annie?
Annie?
I am, yes, me.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Annie, here we go. Universal Studios has announced that it will build an entirely new theme park.
In Texas.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What state it's going to be in?
Is that the question? Is that the question?
Yep.
I think it's
No.
is it Frisco, Texas? It's Texas. The state is Texas.
I can't really say.
I'm agreeing.
Of course you're agreeing. I'm just doing this for me.
Hang on. I didn't say it was right yet.
I hope it's right.
Let's hear the drums.
Oh.
This is for the win. You are correct.
Yay!
Oh my God.
Nice!
I can't
Wow.
believe you got that.
Amazing. Really?
Yeah, that really was the question.
Right. Is it Frisco, Texas?
I think so. It was north of Dallas. And I
Did you
think it
know
was
that there
Frisco.
is a Super Mario World that just opened? I think it's at the Universal Studios in California.
Yep.
It like just maybe opened this past weekend or this week or something. And it's like being in what we grew up, most of us grew up with Super Mario World. That's what it looks like.
It looks really cool,
Yeah, that
actually.
sounds I feel like it'd be really cool to go there and see that. But I feel like, for me specifically, I'd be like, cool. I want to go home.
Well, they're building a whole new park. So they have the two parks in Orlando, and they're building a third
in Texas.
No, they're building a whole third called Epic Adventure.
Yes.
In
Orlando.
Florida,
Yeah.
but then they're building a new park in Texas.
Yes.
I thought I might trip somebody up with that. Apparently, I did not.
I am embarrassed about my knowledge of the theme park industry.
The coolest thing, though,
Mhm.
Brad, confirm this with me because we're roughly the same age and we're both boys.
70.
Guys.
Not men,
We're
boys.
guys. We're guys.
He
Boys,
said it.
2 men. We're getting there.
ABC, BBD.
Walking through the green pipe is how you get into the park. Is that not
that's cool. Does it
right?
make the sound?
Does it go whoop, whoop,
I
whoop?
have no idea about the
It
sound.
needs to make the sound every time. Like you have a beam, you walk through.
You're
That
gonna
one?
have shells just flying across everywhere.
I don't know anything about it other
Killing
than the green
people.
pipe. yeah.
Throwing them into water so they drown.
You have a 50% survival rate, but it sounds really cool.
Oh, man.
Jump on somebody's head, they turn upside down and fall off a cliff.
All right. Well, Trisha, you did had a really valiant fight here. Anna
Thanks.
won, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
All right. You have to have a rematch
Well
now.
done.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to have Trisha stick around here. She's going to do a little Annie, are you okay when we come back? Plus, the results of the YouTube live chat poll. Who on the show would you most like to have a drink with? Your comments on that and the results, along with Annie, are you okay? In just a minute. Don't go away.
But when I play, I never stay. So every girl that I meet, yeah, this is what I say. Run, run, run away.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
You better get
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Well, the new year is here, and it's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the year. Carpets, tiles, rugs, upholstery, basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. So it's time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. Don't forget your air ducts either to help alleviate allergies or asthma. It's very important to enjoy less dust, lower energy bills, and your home is going to stay cleaner longer. If you book with Zero Res and you book in clean in January only, you get 23% off all services for 2023. If your home had a New Year's resolution, it would be to get clean. Let's face it. Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google with over 4,300 reviews, and the Zero Res 30-day gotta love it guarantee makes it easy to get what you pay for. I love them. They've been in my home many, many times. I trust professionals at Zero Res. It's a smarter, lasting clean. And ask for the Mark Reardon special for the 2023 January sale. 23% off all services. Don't put it off. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResSTL.com or call 314-474-2020. Online at ZeroResSTL.com.
If you're interested in lowering your costs for insurance, everybody is looking for places to save money. Insurance easily becomes something that just renews every year. You don't even know who the person is who's managing your insurance if you don't have to use them a lot. This becomes pricey over the course of time. I want you to invest some time in researching Laura Michael Insurance. 25 plus years in the business. In St. Charles, Laura Michael Insurance can help save you money. Make sure you have the coverage that you need for your personal insurance needs. If you're looking for car insurance, home insurance, life insurance, but also for people who are operating businesses. If you are a contractor, you can make sure that as an electrician, a carpenter, a plumber, or somebody who's a jack of all trades, that you have the insurance coverage that you need to protect yourself. Damage to property, liability. If you have lost business income or extra expenses, make sure you have somebody on your side who's going to know you, who's going to care about you and help you grow and contract in your business and keep that necessary insurance coverage for your protection. For all of the information you need, visit my friend Laura Michael on her website, lauramichaelinsurance.com. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Make sure you're heating your home safely this winter with a heating system check. And for all other heating services, repairs, or if you need a new heating or HVAC system, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Friday afternoon, we take you into the weekend with the Reardon Roundtable. Jane Duker, State Senator Nick Shore, former State Senator Jeff Smith, all on the panel.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show.
I get up, I get down.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
It's so comfortable now. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to grow. So I got an apartment across from the park. Put quinoa in my fridge, still I'm not feeling right. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to go.
Here we go.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being with us here on a Friday afternoon. We appreciate you and the time that you choose to spend with us. We know it's a choice, and we are very grateful for it. Did you know you can stream us anywhere on the Odyssey app, AUDACY? If you download it, you can rewind to any part of the show that you might have missed. This is where I usually tell you that great part of the show that you should rewind and hear, but I don't know that we did that today. So rewind to like 9 a.m. or I should say like 8 a.m. when Mark Cox did something fabulous.
Yeah, that was right when I was on the Mark Cox Morning Show, so
7
definitely do that.
Okay. 7 a.m. where Mark Cox did something fabulous. Just erase that out of the brain. All right. We got a little Annie, are you okay? We haven't done that in a while, so we're going to get to Trisha here in just a second. Before we do that, let's go around the room and talk about the YouTube live chat poll. You want to set us up with it?
Yep. Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking who on the show would you most like to share a drink with? Hannah, Annie, Brad, or Ryan?
So
are we making our case for ourselves, or are we saying who we would like to share a drink with? Because if I'm voting for myself.
Sounds like you just took care of the answer to your question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brad, who are you voting for?
Who would I most like to share a drink with? Man, that's tough because I like you guys all a whole bunch.
About who we like the most?
Well,
it can be. Yeah.
You really have to love yourself
Like,
before you can love anybody else.
yeah.
Oh, brother.
And then like the other part of it is too, it's like, well, can you pick somebody and like help give them a break from their like hectic life? Because, you know, some of them have dozens of kids.
Is that a part of it?
It can be.
Okay.
It can be. So we're going to name this segment.
But
Fun
like when you
podcast.
sit down and you have a drink with somebody, you want to learn something about them. And I think the person that I know the least about is Hannah, and Hannah's the one that I want to know more about. So she's the one that I would pick.
I don't think that's why everybody sits down to have a drink with somebody, but of course you would.
Yes.
Of course I would. Yes. Expect that of me.
Everybody sits down to have a drink with someone because they want to learn about them. Some people do, and good people do, and Brad is one of those. Hannah, what do you think?
I would vote Annie. I want to drink a whiskey slush with her,
Ooh.
or whatever they're called.
We've got some in our freezer right now.
What are they called?
Whiskey slush.
Oh, okay. Yep.
With
Those.
the Waple Whiskey.
Waple whiskey. Yep.
The Florida whiskey that I cracked open on election night and drank out of my Pritzker Sucks glass, which happened to just be the only glass that I had in the basement at the time. I was like, this is perfect. Serendipitous. Who on the show would you most like to have a drink with? Annie, Hannah, Brad, or Ryan? I don't think have I ever had a drink with you, Hannah?
Nope.
I don't think so. I've shared drinks with not like straws. With Ryan.
We got one of those big ones
Had a
with multiple
milkshake.
straws in it.
That did not happen.
Let's go down to the 5 and dime.
Ryan would be a cheap date though. 2 sips in and he's like, everybody, I love you.
Oh, yeah. You can just give me a little bit of yours.
Yeah. And Brad doesn't drink, but I would sit down and have a drink or dinner or whatever with him anytime. But I'd probably pick Hannah for the same reason Brad did. Haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Trisha?
I'm going to pick Hannah too.
Because she's like the most fun and
Just
cool.
because
she just made us all
everybody
look
else
better.
is doing that. And if I
Follow
want to
the
be
trend.
like you guys, but I don't want to be like Ryan. So I'm going to pick Hannah.
Ryan's okay because he's drinking with himself.
Yeah. I'm already.
Which
I'm
actually
drinking alone.
that might be the best advocate for we should vote for him so he doesn't have to.
That's right. Yeah. Vote for me so I don't have to drink alone, yell at people walking by on the side.
Hannah, you want to read a couple comments before we get to Annie? Are you okay?
Yep. Tom K says that he would pick Brad so that they could talk cars.
They absolutely could.
Katie Matthews says, I chose Annie since I'm also a mom of 4 and we could both use a night.
Yeah, we didn't have to drink.
out.
We just nap.
Sid B said, would love to have a few fireballs
It's
with
not the same
Ryan.
question. It's not who would you like to nap with.
Okay.
I'd nap with anybody if it meant I got to nap. Except for you.
Ryan, Sid B would like to share a few fireballs with you.
How do you handle fireball?
Just like everybody else. Well, actually,
no, that's not true. You don't do anything like everybody else. That's the whole point of you.
I can tell you how I handle fireballs like a man.
Why do you say it like that? Fireballs. Fireballs.
Because men talk with a little bit of a southern accent where I'm from.
Do they?
Collinsville.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, when you're getting real deep into it, listen. We need to have a real talk. See, starts to get into a little bit of an accent there.
You said see like I actually saw. I
You
see
saw.
nothing.
You heard exactly.
I spent a lot of time
what I
in
was
and
doing.
around Collinsville.
The Mason-Dixon line of South versus North runs right through the Metro East.
It literally doesn't. Any other comments?
Yep. Vicky says, happy Friday. I chose Hannah to have a drink with, but really you all are my choice. Mike G says Annie, maple whiskey, of course.
Maple whiskey.
Brandon says, if I'm buying, I'm taking Wiggins because he only needs 3 sips of beer. I'd probably take Wiggins anyway to see what happens after those 3 sips of beer. Our friend Scooter says, didn't participate in the poll because there was no all of the above option.
I think Scooter and I need to have a drink. Sit down and have a drink together. Hash some things out. Thanks for being here, Scooter.
Nicole H. from YouTube said, voted Annie because she instantly came to my mind as someone I respect and enjoy listening to. But truthfully, it was a tough pick. You'd all be wonderful to hang out with.
For a bit.
For a bit.
Oh, for a bit.
Yeah, you didn't finish that.
You say that now.
Not for a long time.
Oh, it seems like this bit might be over.
Jim E said, I vote Ryan. He'd be pretty funny after a few White Claws.
Yeah, I'm not funny until that, though. Like on this show. Give me a couple White Claws and I get pretty hilarious.
For the record.
In your opinion.
That's all that matters. I'm drinking alone.
That's true. The audience, 100% satisfactory. 5 out of 5 would recommend.
If you do drink with Ryan, he usually orders the sweetest drink.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
know. But, yeah, what do you drink
Do you have
now?
any sugar-free
Vodka?
amaranth? Sir? That's when I'm not using my let's get serious dudes voice.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
before I've had the drinks.
I'm not even going to ask you to define that voice.
After
No.
a couple pina coladas, I'm like, all right, let's get down to business. But before that, I'm like, do you have any pina coladas?
All right. Are you ready? Can we do any? Are you okay right now?
I don't know.
Let's make it
Blue
happen.
light glasses are amazing.
Really help keep the headaches out of the way.
Is Annie okay with this?
M&M reveals new packaging with only the female M&M characters. All female M&M characters are featured on and inside the new packages for their Flip the Status Quo campaign. It's a limited edition packaging design to honor women by changing the world and flipping antiquated gender roles and ideas. They are available in milk, chocolate, peanut butter, and peanut varieties, and they depict green, brown, and purple
You
M&Ms.
can buy women M&Ms with nuts.
Yes. Yes, you can.
It's 2023.
And for whatever reason, they've got them
question
upside
has
down.
to be asked.
You can get the little ones too. I meant the little M&Ms. Is what I meant.
Mini M&Ms or mini nuts?
Yep.
Do the mini M&Ms have very tiny nuts in them? All right, $1 from each bag sold will go towards women empowerment organizations.
Bull crap.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's only going to be 75 cents on the dollar.
Right, and it's only through March, so they only care for a little bit.
just to show pay inequality, we're going to give less of the proceeds to these organizations. We're going to give less for the ones with nuts too.
I think they'll get more. Anywho,
Andy, are you okay with female M&Ms?
I was unaware that I was eating male M&Ms.
Yeah, I eat my M&Ms genderless.
Prior, which is really an example of my unconscious bias. That I did not know I did not know that I was discriminating against the female M&Ms. Heck no, I'm not okay with this. This is the stupidest thing ever. And then in a genius marketing move, they're like, wow, we could take the M&Ms, turn them upside down, and the M becomes a W, and then it's about women. And women everywhere were like, shut the heck up, man. I'm trying hard not to say those words.
No kidding.
It's
Ew.
really, really stupid.
You know what we could do? We could make the M sans serif. Then it would look like a W if you turned it around.
And give it nuts.
Let's stick some nuts in it.
It is nuts.
Just little ones,
It's
though.
stupid. It's really stupid.
M&M is turning the world on its head with its gender role ideology.
Don't you want to be around, like, don't you want people who like this to carry that bag with them, just so you know?
Oh, heck yeah.
Like, doesn't that make things easier?
Yes.
Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you got. I don't need my candy to make that point to me.
Me either.
And I will honestly say that because, like, any of these products that go into this realm of like preachiness and that is completely away from the message of the actual product they're selling, I will intentionally, if I go into the store and I would have to buy a bag of candy for something, probably not buy it. Go back. Even if you on the side, like down, if you are donating to specific causes, or if you want to donate to a whatever you call a women's empowerment fund, or if you're donating to Black Lives Matter, if that's something you do as a company, but you're not using it as a way because you think I'm so ridiculously dumb that I'm going to see that and be like, I just got to buy some M&Ms today.
Ooh, girls.
I'm insulted by that. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, I'm a woman and that M&M is a woman and it's got nuts. Well, I mean, I don't, but I would still like to have this because I want to support. Because if I do this, then I support people of all kinds and shapes and sizes. So I should buy these M&Ms. Like, I'm not that stupid.
That green M&M has long, sexy legs. I want to eat it.
Just like
That's
me.
just like me.
I'm big and round on the top with long, sexy legs. I'm going to have that. This is my purchase today.
If I were wearing pantyhose and heels, I would look just like that M&M.
You kinda
I
do
want to eat it.
Today. It's weird that you wore that today, Ryan.
No, it's a Friday.
No, not okay with it. Super stupid.
All right. Michigan College has released a list of words they say deserve to be banished from our vocabularies over misuse, overuse, and uselessness. Lake Superior State University released their banished word list of 2023.
We did the story.
Did we?
Ask about that one.
Oh, that's what prompted the regardless or irregardless.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That's a famous video now.
All right. Are
Ryan-
you okay with banishing the words?
Ryan said that he wanted to drive the word irregardless train straight into hell.
No, I wanted to grab the bull by the horns.
Yeah, and ride it to hell.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I heard that. I just didn't know how it started.
Words
That's how it
being
started.
goat, inflection point, quiet quitting, gaslighting, moving forward, amazing. Does that make sense? Which I realize I say at basketball practice all the time. And spoiler alert, it usually doesn't make sense.
Because you're using deep basketball vocabulary. on those kids.
Irregardless, absolutely, it is what it is. Goat is one that I was absolutely in favor of. But if you've got to go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and check out the YouTube shorts there of the one that says irregardless and watch. It's so funny. Brad and Ryan had thoughts on it. Ryan's were a little extreme.
Boxing one with a drop zone. Does that make sense? Kids are like, what the heck is
Did
she
you just
talking
spend the
about?
last 45 seconds trying to think of a basketball phrase?
Oh no, that's right on the tip of my tongue. I just think basketball. You know this.
I
It's
don't
one of the
know this.
reasons that I love the movie Space Jam
What are the other reasons?
for its basketball realism.
What are the other reasons?
I also love animation because I was in the industry,
In the animation industry?
the industry of entertainment. I
Obviously not here.
I was in the industry.
Yeah.
I'm not now. I don't know where this is going, Annie. I have nothing else.
You're driving this car.
No, I'm not. Trisha.
Okay. All right. Chopped cheese, the New York sandwich,
Thank you.
is going national. Are you guys familiar with a chopped cheese sandwich?
No.
Nope. All right. It's super easy. It's just ground beef, melted cheese, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, and condiments all chopped up
A cheeseburger?
in a hero roll. No, because it's
Okay.
all mushed together.
Oh.
And it started in New York, and because of the internet, I don't know. I guess other people are doing it now. Are you okay with it?
That could explain so many things.
Mhm. I saw it on the internet. I can do it now.
That's exactly what it is.
So
Some people are pushing back because it's like a cheeseburger.
What are the ingredients again? It's ground beef.
Ground beef, melted cheese, onions, lettuce, tomato, and then condiments, but they're all mushed together like a sloppy Joe would be.
I don't
Sounds
know.
gross.
I don't think so. I mean, the ingredients don't. It depends on how it's presented.
I mean, if the lettuce and tomatoes are chopped up in with the other, I don't like the idea of them getting all like
Soggy
hot
and mushy.
yeah.
Let me tell you something.
I should take a cheeseburger.
When you make a sloppy Joe,
Mhm.
ground
Which
beef,
sounds really good right
pour
now.
the sloppy Joe sauce on it.
Really?
Great. Put it on a bun.
good.
If you put onions in that thing, I am gonna come at you.
No, you've ruined it. But
Yes.
you do put a slice of American cheese on it.
That's fine. Angry elf. If you put onions or peppers in your sloppy Joe,
Peppers ruin it.
I am not happy with
I'm
you.
with you.
And I don't want to have a drink with you.
You're unhappy if somebody puts peppers in their own sloppy Joe or in your sloppy
In
Joe.
my sloppy Joe.
You didn't say
Don't
that.
touch my sloppy Joe.
Yeah, if you come along, you're sprinkling things in my food. In general, I'm just not going to be okay with that.
Just onions and peppers, though.
Mostly those.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know. I'm not opposed to that. I don't know that I'm looking to eat it.
Okay.
It doesn't. Of all of the things that people do food wise on the internet, that doesn't sound like
That's
the
not the
grossest
worst.
sensation. Is that it?
All right. Candy, yeah.
YouTube poll.
Okay. Oh, we can talk about blue light glasses for another minute or two.
This has really been a slick show.
No.
Really great job running the helm there.
It's like the whole show was on a green screen on the
Running
radio.
the helm. All right. Who on the show would you most like to share a drink with? Hannah, Annie, Brad, or Ryan? No, we are not drunk currently.
In case it needed to be said.
Yes. With over 225 votes, Annie wins the poll. 41% of the people would like to share a drink with Annie. 27% of the audience would like to share a drink with Ryan. 23% would like to share a drink with myself. And 10% would like to share a drink with Brad. Yay.
You know what? Hannah and Brad, if we all got together, we could win.
Pull your votes.
So yeah, if you want to have a drink with any three of us,
Annie's face right now. If you're not watching the YouTube channel.
I'm like, what are we winning?
affection, the love of the people, you can take a nap with them,
Okay.
whatever you
I think
want.
It's time we wrap this up.
Literally has to be, right?
Yeah.
This is it.
25 seconds. Make it last.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us every day. You can vote on these polls and leave comments for us to highlight. We love reading your comments. We do react with them and we do pay attention to them. The Annie Frey YouTube channel, Hannah and Ryan and Brad are going to do a dance video here soon. Really excited to see how that turns out for our 4,000 subscribers. And they need to hurry because we're really close to 5,000 subscribers. Maybe they'll do 2 if we get to 5,000 first. Mark Reardon up next.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife, Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true.